Good afternoon. It's over and over again. My name is Richard, and for the final time this season, this is Matchday Live, the final weekend of the Premier League season. This is Arsenal versus Wolves, the big watch-along coming up the other side of this.
Real Martinelli. It's now with Granit Xhaka. Is it going to be the third goal? It is the third goal. Granit Xhaka with it. That seals it.
So here we go then, the big watch-along of the season, the final one, Arsenal versus Wolves. You can see Granit Xhaka's last game for Arsenal. So we thought we'd pay a little tribute to him today. He has been one of my favourite players. I know he's not everybody's cup of tea. There's no denying he's had a great couple of seasons in the team. And let's hope that he can go off in style today. The game's a bit of a dead rubber, let's be honest. But we want to see the team win the game. Of course we do, because that's what it's all about, isn't it? And that's what we want to see. So we've got your team news in then for the game today. This is our Arsenal lineup then. It seems as though Mikel Arteta didn't learn an awful lot from last week's game against Nottingham Forest, did he? So it's Aaron Ramsdale in goal, Thomas Partey at right back, Ben White and Gabriel in the centre, Jacob Kiwior at left back. In midfield, it is Granit Xhaka, as we said, Jorginho and Martin Ødegaard. And then the front three, Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Jesus and Leandro Trossard. So it is the same team, isn't it, that lost to Nottingham Forest last week. On the bench then, Matt Turner, Kieran Tierney, Rob Holding, Royal Walters, Fabio Vieira, Gomez Bandiera, Emil Smith-Rowe, Reece Nelson and Eddie Nketiah. So Reece Nelson's back on the bench anyway. For Wolves then, this is how they line up. It's Jose Sarri in goal. They're back four. Nelson Semedo, Nathan Collins, captain Max Kilman and Hugo Bueno. It's Adama Traore, Mario Lemina, João Gomez and Matheus Nunes. And then up front, it's Hee-Chan Hwang and Raul Jimenez, who, of course, who got that serious injury in this fixture a couple of years ago, didn't he? On the bench then for Wolves, goalkeeper Dan Bentley. It's Rayan Ait-Nouri, Craig Dawson, Boubacar Traore, Ruben Neves, Pablo Sarabia, João Gomez, Joe Hodge and Matheus Cunha. So they are your team lineups then for this game. What are we thinking, guys? Are we thinking Arsenal are going to get a victory to end the season, or are we going to just limp across the line as we have done in the last couple of weeks? Phil's in the chat then. Phil, he says, afternoon, hope we decide to turn up today. Yeah, looking at that team though, it's the same team that played so badly last week at Nottingham Forest. So I'm a little bit concerned about that, if I'm honest. But anyway, we shall see what happens. Tom, how you doing, Tom? He says, can't believe he picked this side. Well, the same as last week, as we said. Mark C says, a bit of an odd lineup. Is it injuries? Yes, there's one or two injuries. But you've got to think Kieran Tierney's on the bench, Rob Holding's on the bench. Those two clearly could both have played. So, yeah, it is a strange lineup, I have to be honest. Tom says lack of imagination or pig-headedness. I think it's both, and I think that's been the problem all season. I think that's why we've fallen away as much as we have. Tom says, well, at least we know Tierney and ESR are leaving. Well, yeah, potentially. They're on the bench again. I mean, Kieran Tierney, you've got to wonder what's gone on there, because he's clearly Mikel Arteta clearly doesn't fancy him. You know, to play Jacob Kiwior, who is a centre-back in the left-back position, seems crazy when you think that the main reason why Zinchenko was playing there is because of his ability to move into midfield, which Kieran Tierney's kind of struggled with doing, and you can understand that's why he's not been picked maybe. So then he picks Jacob Kiwior as a centre-back, and also isn't going to step into midfield in the same way. We saw last week it just didn't work. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm really sort of find the whole thing a little bit strange. I'm not really sure, to be honest. Mark C says, fingers crossed we go out on a win. Yeah, I mean, I think we will. Wolves haven't won away from home, have they, for a while? They've nothing to play for. They've done their job since Locatelli's come in. They were, when we played them actually away just before the World Cup, they were bottom of the league. He just take over, hadn't he? I don't think he was. I don't think he'd officially started when we played them, and since then they've got 31 points, which is as many as we've got since the turn of the year, actually. So there you go. They're in as good a form as we are. Tom says Wolves will target both left and right flanks. Of course they will. Why wouldn't you? They've got Adama Traore, who's got a lot of pace. He's strong. He can finish. He got a great goal last week on one side, and they've got Mateus Nunes, it looks like, on the other side. We know how Raul Jimenez is a threat. I know he's not quite been the same, has he, unfortunately, since his bad injury that he suffered in his fixture, of course, if you remember. It was David Luiz, was it, that clash of heads that they had, was it 2021, I think it was, wasn't it? That was a horrible injury. But he's back playing, and that's the good news, and let's hope he doesn't get a goal today. I do think Wolves will score. We can't keep clean sheets at home, can we? Phil says Arteta has lost the plot. Yeah, I'm not sure he had a plot to start with, but he's definitely lost it now. If he did have one, he's definitely lost it. Very, very strange lineup. Very, very strange. I'm shocked again. I mean, last week you looked at it and thought, I don't know what was going on there. Clearly, it didn't work, the experiment. So you think, well, now last home game, let's play, normal. Do you know what I mean? A normal way, and he hasn't. He's gone and thrown his same team back at us again. Strange, but who knows? The game hasn't started yet. We may still win it, mightn't we? So let's not get too carried away quite yet. But yeah, it is a very strange lineup. I'm shocked to see the same team as last week. I was expecting 2 or 3 changes as a minimum, but it is what it is, and I suppose we're just going to have to see what happens. But yeah, I mean, I personally think it's been an average season. It was a great first half of the season where we got 50 points. Where did 50 points come from after 19 games? I'm not quite sure. But since then, the second half of the season has been more normal Arsenal. We've got 31 points, potentially getting 34. If you look through all the seasons Arteta has been with the club, any sort of 19-game period, half a season, we generally get around 30, 33, 34 points. And we've done it on the second half of this season. That's how it's been all the way through. So this is more, the second half of the season is more where we are. And I think that first half of the season, I'm not sure I'll say where that come from. I don't know. And those 50 points maybe raised expectations. But maybe overall we are where we are. And top 4 is probably where we are. And if we don't improve on the second half of the season going into next season, then we're going to be struggling to even get the top 6, aren't we? Let's be honest. The number of points that we're likely to get over a season. If you get 34 points, that's 68 points. That's not enough to get top 4. And that's what we're looking at. And that's generally where we've been under this manager. So yeah, it's been a funny season, hasn't it? I think that people have been really looking sort of at finishing second as being a good season. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've been watching Arsenal for over 40 years, and I've got to be honest, I've never looked on second as being a successful season ever. I've never looked on it like that. And it certainly wasn't this season. If we'd won a cup, we won the Europa League or won one of the cups, you'd say, okay, yeah, fair enough. Finishing second, winning a cup, that's a good season. We'll be happy with that. We'll take that all day long. Lovely. But unfortunately, that's not the way it's turned out. We finished second and we haven't won anything. And to me, that's not a good season. There's been improvements in certain areas, but I say the last 19 games have been pretty much average of where we've been under this manager. So improvements are going to be needed next season because we've got to win a trophy. We're Arsenal. We've got to be looking at trying to win trophies. It's no good saying, oh, well, we've done better than last season. Last season wasn't very good. The season before that was even worse. So let's not compare it to those seasons. Let's compare it to where we should be as a club, and we should be doing better than what we are. To me, there's no doubt about that. But anyway, the season's what it is. We finished second. We didn't win the league. And ultimately, we've got a lot of work to do if we are going to find a way to improve next season and make up that difference. Because, the only way up from here is obviously winning the league, isn't it? Next season, it's the only improvement. If we don't, then we've dropped down again, haven't we? And that's the way it is. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to, we're not going to worry too much about it now. It's done, isn't it? But let's get some reality here. It hasn't been a great season. It's been an okay season. It's just had some great moments, and it's been a good season. But that's all it's been. We've achieved our main goal, which was to qualify for the Champions League. We should have done it last season, as we know, and this season we've managed to do it, and that's great. But let's not pretend it's been a great season. It's been an okay season, and we need to improve next year, because this time next year we need to be sitting here and we need to be looking back on a season where we've won a trophy. That's what we need to be doing. Tom says they need 5 quality additions this summer. The unexpected title charge masked over the inadequacies, and the mentality wasn't there in the running. On the whole, an encouraging season, but we need to do it again next week. I mean, encouraging, yes, I would agree with, but I've seen so many things and people saying, "Oh, it's been a great season. It's been a great season." No, it hasn't been a great season. It's been a good season, and we've reached our target for the season, which was the top 4, and we've done that, and that's great. But now it's a matter of building on that, isn't it? And looking to see how next season we can plug those gaps. You're right. We are quite a few players short, I believe, to really be challenging for the big trophies. Don't forget Champions League next season. That's going to be it's going to be tough, isn't it, for us to try to compete at that level. You know, compete at that level. It's going to be tough, and we need to find a way to bridge that gap. So that's what we've got to do. And unfortunately, we've got a lot of work to do. I believe in the summer we've got a real lot of work to do if we're gonna find a way to get that gap closed and to win some trophies. Because to me, that's what we should be about as a club. We should be looking at winning trophies or trying to win trophies and being there or thereabouts. And finishing second, to me, no, I'm disappointed. I haven't got to be honest. I'm disappointed in the way the season's finished. And I'll be hoping for better next season. Of course, the Premier League, this is the last weekend. There's been most things are decided, aren't they? Of course, all the excitement's at the bottom end of the league today, with 2 out of Everton, Leicester and Leeds are going to get relegated. Which 2 will it be? What do we think? That's going to be interesting, isn't it? To see how that works out. I think Everton will be safe. They're home to Bournemouth. I expect them to win that game. So it's going to end up being Leeds and Leicester to go down. That's how I believe it'll finish. That's the only real excitement, isn't it? The top 4 is decided. The champions are decided, of course, as we know. All the European places are decided, aren't they? I think so. Not much else to concern ourselves with today. It's just a matter of ending our own season in the best way possible, which is to win the game in front of our home crowd, and that is really what we've got to do. And if we do that, then that'll be great, wouldn't it? Don't forget, we're going to have our season review show this week. We're going to have it on Wednesday evening. We are going to look back on the season as a whole, look through all the different competitions, obviously that we've been in, the Premier League, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, and of course the Europa League. We are going to look through all of them and see what we thought of the season, give out some awards as well. It's always nice in the end of the season with some end of season awards. We'll do that as well. That's on Wednesday, so join us for that. It is going to be good, and hopefully you can enjoy that with us as well. And then Friday we're going to be looking back on the women's season as well, which again was disappointing in some ways, but at least the women did win a trophy. You saw that video they released today. The trophy lift on that video was, of course, Arsenal women lifting the trophy, wasn't it? That was great. And that was a decent season for the women. Frustrating in some ways, difficult season, but a trophy. And Marcy says, I'm looking forward to being back in the Champions League, but we need 300 million spent on quality players. Otherwise, we'll get pumped each week in Europe. And no one wants to say, no, exactly, yeah, we're short. Yeah, absolutely right. Terry says, afternoon, Richard, all in the chat. At least this is the last game of another winless season. Come on, you guys, at least show some pride that you want to win. But yeah, exactly. That's what we want to see today, don't we? We want to see the team go out in style. And that's what we want to see. And hopefully that's what we'll do. And that'll be great. But yeah, there's a lot of work to do. I agree. There definitely is. Anyway, we are off and underway at the Emirates. It is obviously still 0-0. And hopefully it's going to be Arsenal scoring the goals in this game. I say Wolves away from home haven't been great, let's be honest, this season. And, you know, they haven't sort of won too many games. I think they haven't won away from home for quite some time. So obviously it's in our hands to win this game. We are at home and we just need to put these last few performances behind us, don't we? I mean, the Brighton game was just terrible, wasn't it? I mean, that's one of the worst games I think I've ever seen us play at the Emirates since we've been at the Emirates. That was terrible, wasn't it? So hopefully we can put that behind us today, and of course that Forest performance. But yeah, what do we make of this team lineup then? The same as last week. I'm shocked. Let's be honest. I am very shocked to see it's the same team that failed so badly last week. But anyway, let's see what happens. It might not be as bad as we think it's going to be. And I say Wolves don't have a lot to play for, do they either? So it's not like they're going to be massively bothered. Particularly, they're going to want to finish their season well, and they've done well, haven't they? Locatelli's come in and he's done a really good job. And you know, they were bottom of the league when we played them away just before the World Cup. So it just goes to show what a great job he's done there to turn them around, got them safe. And yeah, they'll be in the Premier League again next season. And of course, joining everybody in the Premier League next season is, of course, Luton, who won the playoffs yesterday. It's been a long time since Luton have been in the top flight. Those of us of a certain age remember Luton being a top flight team back in the sort of 80s into the early part of the 90s as well. And they're back again. So that's going to be interesting, isn't it, with their rather antiquated little ground, shall we call it, old little ground. And that's going to be interesting, isn't it? So it's Luton back in the Premier League, so that's good fun, isn't it? So I'm sure we'll enjoy that. So Arsenal, of course, wearing their new home kit today, which is nice, isn't it? Which was released, of course, on Friday. The women wore it yesterday, and the men are wearing it today, which is always good, isn't it? So, and we are attacking the clock end in the first half, which is the goal to our right. Jorginho in the team. Is it going to be his last game as well? We know it's going to be Granit Xhaka's last game because we know he's leaving. But is Jorginho going to be leaving, or is Jorginho going to be staying? Are we going to extend his contract? Well, that's going to be interesting to see what happens there, isn't it? Especially with Granit Xhaka going, I do feel as though we do need maybe to keep Jorginho, that bit of experience there in the Premier League that. We're going to be missing massively with Granit Xhaka going, aren't we? I'm personally disappointed that he's leaving. Personally, I've always liked Granit Xhaka. You can see his picture behind me. So yeah, it's one of them, isn't it? We'll have to just see what happens. But let's see what the summer brings us. Mark C says, "I bet we keep him." Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I think we need to keep him because we need. It's no good keep buying players like Fabio Vieira, who may or not turn out to be good players in 2 or 3 years' time. We're in a position now where we need players who are going to improve the team straight away. And I think Jorginho does that. You know, we've seen that. Yes, the last couple of games haven't been great. Of course not. But that's not just Jorginho, is it? That's everybody. So, you know, we need to, we need to, I think we need to keep him and add more experience and quality in the midfield and elsewhere in the team as well. You know, we're short. We need a striker. We know that. I think we're going to need a left back because quite clearly Kieran Tierney's not going to stay. Don't blame him. If I was him, I'd be off as well. There's absolutely no point in him staying, is there? When he's not getting. If he's not going to play now with Zinchenko injured, then he's not going to play at all, is he? He got that game against Brighton, and then we lose 3-0, which wasn't down to him particularly. I mean, I'm not saying he played well, but it wasn't his fault we lost that game 3-0, and then he's been binned off for the last 2 games. Just crazy decisions. Again, as we said, Arteta losing the plot, as was mentioned a bit earlier, and I kind of agree a little bit, unfortunately. We've got Kanisha in the chat here, says hello to the host of today's live football match up for the boys from the Emirates. Yeah, we're looking sort of forward to it in a way. Glad to get the season over with now, if I'm totally honest. And Kanisha says, shout out to everyone tuning in from all over. But yeah, we get people from all over the world. I hope you're enjoying what we do here. So it's been a long season this season, hasn't it? What with the World Cup, so we started a bit earlier. So it's been tough. It's been a difficult season. It's been a long season, and ultimately a frustrating season. But it's over after today, and I think we all need a little bit of a break, don't we, from the football for a few weeks. I'm sure we'll miss it quite quickly, but. I do think we do need a break. I'm certainly feeling like I need a break from it all anyway. And I will take a couple of weeks off after the big review shows, of course, this week. Now, we've just got a little bit of trouble here. I'm trying to find a stream of the Arsenal game. It's been quite tricky. Every other game seems to be on all the different channels, but there doesn't seem to be one for Arsenal. So if anybody knows, oh, here we go, I just found one. Here we go. Anyway, we played 6 minutes. It is still 0-0. And I say Arsenal, I was sacking the clock in. Leandro Trossard has just gone down. He's got a nice new haircut, hasn't he? And he's done his hair, Leandro Trossard, for the occasion. That's nice, isn't it? To dye his hair for the last game, that's really good. And he's just got a little bit of an injury problem, but he's back on his feet again. He's got his white hair. And it was actually, it was Raul Jimenez. He tried to tackle Raul Jimenez and sort of fell over the ball. But anyway, he's back on his feet again. Leandro Trossard, a big impact he made in January, didn't he? Maybe not starting as many games as we maybe would have felt he should have done. That was perhaps an issue. But anyway, let's see what happens with him next season. Is he going to be a big part of this team? Aaron Ramsdale is in the new goalkeeper's kit, which is all black. And I know that's been very popular. The black kits have been popular, haven't they? And I think that's to do with our away kit this season, which was very popular, the black kit, wasn't it? And it seems to be a very popular kit. And people were saying it might outsell the actual home kit, but we'll see. Anyway, Aaron Ramsdale's now gone long half as Arsenal look to get a win on this last game. Terry says, I think Trossard's gone grey playing for Arteta. I don't think it's hair though. Yeah, that's a fair point. You may be right, actually. That might be the reason. I'm not too sure. But anyway, he looks quite cool, actually. Silver Fox, we'll call him, shall we? Silver Fox in the box. Phil says, weeks of endless transfer speculation to look forward to. Exactly, yeah, that's the summer always brings that. Gets on my nerves, to be honest. Yeah, I agree with you, mate. I believe it when they're sharpening Arsenal shirts. So exactly, yeah. To be honest with you, you've got a lot of people on social media who want to pretend they're in the know by coming out with some ridiculous rumours, and it gets circulated around, and suddenly that's who Arsenal are signing. But I don't listen to any of it. I wait, as you say. That's what I do when they're in the Arsenal shirt on the pitch. With the photos are done, that's it. I know they're an Arsenal player. The rest of it's just nonsense. And irrelevant, really. It doesn't matter who we link to. It doesn't matter who we put a bid in for. The only thing that matters is when they sign and they're our player. That's the only thing that matters. The rest of it's just nonsense, isn't it? We've got another injury, actually. I think it might be Bukayo Saka. Now, this was interesting, wasn't it? Because yesterday in the press conference, Mikel Arteta said that Bukayo Saka's been playing with an injury for a few weeks. Well, we've had other players on the bench. Emil Smith-Rowe is an example. Reece Nelson is another example. Players that haven't been getting enough minutes. And Bukayo Saka's had an injury and he's kept playing him, which just seems ludicrous, doesn't it? You know, if we only had no other options in his position, then I'd say fair enough, Watchalong. But we've got other players who can play there, and you know, certainly once the league had gone, why haven't we rested him? And for Arteta to come at this and say he's been playing with an injury for weeks, it's like, well, you keep picking him, mate, and could be damaging his long term career, couldn't it? It could be. Anyway, let's hope not. But he's just got a bit of a knock here today, and let's hope he's going to be okay. He's a tough old boy, isn't he? And of course, he's just had his new contract as well, which is great news. We do obviously need to keep. We do need to keep players like Bukayo Saka, don't we? That's so important that we do. But there's one or two others that still need to sign, isn't there? We need to get Saliba signed up. Is he going to sign? Obviously, Ramsdale's signed, hasn't he? I think Ødegaard, has he signed an extension as well? Phil says there, the lack of use of Smith-Rowe has enjoyed his criminal. Yeah, I really don't know what's going on with Smith-Rowe. There's been rumours, hasn't there, around what's going on with him. And I'm not too sure how true all of that is. We don't know, do we? Let's be honest. But yeah, it does seem something's happened there, because we know Smith-Rowe's quality, and what he did last season when we were really struggling, bottom of the league. Look what Smith-Rowe did, the impact that he had. You know what I mean? It's crazy to think that he's now not even getting a look in. Anyway, we've just the stream sort of frozen. It's come back on. It is 1-0, and guess who has scored? Guess who has scored the goal for Arsenal? We are winning, and of course, who else would it be? It's my mate in the background there, Granite, has scored on his final game. What a great moment that is. To be honest with you, that's it. We might as well finish the game now because that's all we wanted to see. Granit Xhaka scoring on his last appearance. What a great season he's had. 8 goals now he's got for the season. Incredible, incredible turnaround in his form. Incredible turnaround, and he has made it. 1-0 to the Arsenal, which is a score that we love very, very much, don't we? Steve says Xhaka. Indeed, it is Xhaka with the goal. Mark C says Xhaka header. It was, we're just seeing it now. It was Jesus' cross from the near side, Arsenal's right. Not quite sure what he was doing over there, actually, as a centre forward. But anyway, he was on the right-hand side, put that cross in, and it is Granit Xhaka with the goal on his final Arsenal appearance. Well, after, what, 6 years? Brilliant, brilliant stuff. The goalie maybe could have done a bit better, but who cares? Granit Xhaka has scored, and I'm very, very pleased for him. And that's great news, isn't it? And it's what we wanted to see. Granit Xhaka banging in a goal for Arsenal. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. And we lead 1-0. Surely that is going to mean we'll end the season with a victory. I read somewhere, I think we've won on the final day of the season for God knows how many years in a row now. So that's pretty cool, isn't it? That we've got that great record to finish the season with. So, yeah, great stuff. But, yeah, 1-0, Granit Xhaka header, and we are heading. Steve says, Steve says there 4 more. I said 5-1. Mark C says he's done it again. 2-0. So, is it 2-0 already? I mean, I just can't get a stream. I'm just thinking I'm wasting my time, really. Every other game is great streams on. And the Arsenal game, there's none. Probably because we're so popular, everyone wants to watch our games. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But I can't really find one. The one I found was just absolutely lagging. So every other game's on. So Chelsea, Newcastle, Aston Villa was on just then. Newcastle have been in at Chelsea actually. Brentford, Man City on this channel, which is 0-0. Just flicking around. If they was in some sort of order, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? Oh, here we go. We've got it now. Oh, this one's still behind. It's still saying 0-0 here. But at least it's on. That's one good thing, I suppose. This is going to be the first goal now because I can see this. It's Jesus on this near side, puts a cross in, and Granit Xhaka heads it in, and it's 1-0. Almost like, are they playing Granit Xhaka almost as a centre forward today, just because it's his last game and they want to make him score goals? But that's 8 for the season. Incredible stuff, and that is great news, isn't it? Great news for Arsenal. It's just a shame that he is going to be leaving, isn't it, really? But anyway, he's given us a lot of good time, hasn't he? Terry says ESPN Astro Super Sport 2. Oh, okay. ESPN. Let me see if I can find that on here. ESPN Astro. Let's have a look. Is that ESPN Plus? Is it that one? No, it isn't Plus. No, that's a different one. Anyway, let's have a look. Maybe I can find that one. ESPN Super Sports. No, I can't find that one. Only ESPN Plus. What we got on here? Not much. Anyway, someone's got a Xhaka flag in the crowd. That's good, isn't it? A Granit Xhaka flag. Brilliant stuff. Anyway, I'll say Arsenal 1, Wolves 0. Granit Xhaka with the goal. Terry says, can't wait for Xhaka to leave. He's getting too greedy in front of a goal. Yeah, how dare he be scoring goals? That's not right, is it? 8 goals for him this season. That's just that's not right, is it? That's probably why he's leaving. He scores too many goals. Every player that scores a lot of goals for Arsenal, Arteta doesn't like, does he? Because obviously Aubameyang scored a lot of goals. He's no longer here. Nicolas Pepe was top scorer one season. He's no longer here. Terry says Sportec Pro. I don't know what Sportec. I don't think I've got Sportec Pro on here. I've got a Fire Stick thing, you see. So I don't know. Sportec Pro. I don't know if that's on here. Not sure if it is. Anyway, I've got one. It's just a bit behind, but anyway, who cares? The game's irrelevant anyway, isn't it? Let's be honest. for both teams. But it's just the last one of the season, so we want to see a victory, don't we? And it is 1-0 to the Arsenal, which is good. And it's nice end of final day of the season weather, isn't it? The sun's out. The Emirates always looks nice in the sunshine, doesn't it? And the pitch looks in fantastic condition. And we need to finish our season with 3 points. That's what it's all about, isn't it? That's what we need to do. And I'm sure we will. And hopefully we can. Mark C says, I think not playing ESR or KT is purely to keep them from getting injured. What? We will be using them as bait so West Ham could get right. Well, no. That if that's true, that would be ridiculous, wouldn't it? When they could have helped us win the league. I mean, if that's actually the reason, then whoever's made that decision needs to be sacked, quite honestly. Anyway, Saka now goes past defender inside the box. It's flipped back again. It's found Granit Xhaka. He's made it 2-0. Oh, Granit, he's going to get a hat-trick, isn't he? He's going to get a hat-trick on his final game, and that would be great, wouldn't it? What a brilliant, brilliant way to finish the season that would be. Granit Xhaka has just scored again. And now he's going over to the touchline to celebrate with Mohamed El Neni, actually. I thought he was going off then. I thought, I've got 2 goals. I'm going home now. He wants to get his hat-trick now, doesn't he? Let's get a penalty, right? Let's get a penalty and let him take it. That would be perfect, wouldn't it? A Granit Xhaka hat-trick on the final day of the season, on his final appearance. That would be brilliant. Mr. Ross says 2-0 now. Indeed, it is 2-0 now. Granit Xhaka with his second goal. It looked like there might have been a slight offside there in the build-up for Bukayo Saka, but I don't think it is. Saka did well, cut past the defender there. Bueno got it into the box, and it just fell kindly, didn't it, to Granit Xhaka, 8 yards out, just side-footed it in. Lovely little finish. And Arsenal have won this game now quite handsomely, you'd imagine. I say Wolves with nothing to play for. It's one of them sort of games, isn't it? It was a defender actually tried to clear it. It just fell straight into the path of Granit Xhaka. Couldn't miss with his left foot. So now he needs a right foot goal, doesn't he? That's what we need. Terry says there, hat-trick and sent-off. Yeah, that would kind of be Granit Xhaka's legacy for Arsenal, wouldn't it? In his final day, he scores a hat-trick and gets sent off. That would be funny, wouldn't it? He just needs a right footer now. He's got a left foot and a header. He just needs a right foot goal. 2 goals in opening 14 minutes. That's pretty good, isn't it? Anyway, there's another injury now, and Arsenal just played the ball out. It is actually Mateus Nunes, the Wolves player, who's gone down with an injury. I don't think he's as badly hurt as he's pretended he is. Jota says there, listening on the radio, atmosphere sounds great. Yeah, of course the atmosphere sounds great, because most Arsenal fans are happy with the season, aren't they? And celebrating coming second. It's not for me personally. I've never celebrated coming second in anything. But anyway, let them crack on. Mark C says, no, Terry, no sending off today. I'd like us to finish the season with no red cards. Yeah, it would be. When was the last season actually that we didn't get any single red cards in the whole season? I'd like to find out when the last time that happened, because it must have been a long time ago. We always get a lot of red cards, don't we? It's incredible that we haven't done. Maybe we needed 1 or 2 to just. Maybe that's why we haven't won the league. Maybe we're too soft on the pitch, too nice. The odd red card here and there. You remember in the Patrick Vieira days, we'd get others of red cards, wouldn't we? Didn't stop us winning titles, did it? Anyway, Jesus has just been tackled and he's gone down in front of the dugout. But he's going to be okay. I bet Xhaka's thinking about a hat-trick now, isn't he? He will be. He definitely will be. He's got himself into the box more this season. That's 9 goals he's got this season. He might get double figures. Well, I mean, whatever happens today, we wanted to see a Granit Xhaka goal, didn't we? And we've got 2. So we've been spoiled already. So let's see if he can get that hat-trick. Anyway, it's Arsenal in possession. Gabriel inside at the centre circle. And Gabriel Jesus has just gone down injured. And this game hasn't got much flow to it, has it? I mean, Arsenal have got the 2 early goals, but there's been injury after injury, players going down. And there's another injury now to Gabriel Jesus. He was just trying to shield the ball there. Defender came from, maybe stood on his ankle a little bit there. I think it was Mario Lamina, the Gabon international. Aubameyang's mate, of course. And it was a slightly, a little bit of a late change. The referee didn't give a free kick. We had possession. But obviously he stopped the game for the injury, and it's going to be a drop ball, uncontested. And we've got possession again now with Ben White playing as a centre-back in the last couple of games, having played right back all season. It's funny, isn't it? When Tommy Asu was fit, he didn't want to play Ben White as centre-back then, did he? And let Tommy Asu play. But now, you know, there's nothing to play for. He's playing Ben White as centre-back. Baffling. Anyway, Wolves in possession. They're just knocking it around at the back. Bueno plays it back to Max Kilman, who sounds like he should be some sort of character in a spy movie, doesn't he, Max Kilman? Denver says, I'm just back to watch Tube Trouble from the City. What was there? Oh dear, he's not strike again, is it? Anyway, glad you're with us now. You know, Wolves coming forward now on that far side. This is a good run, actually. Cross comes in towards the end of the 6 yard box. Gabriel's there, and he heads it out. In fact, Gabriel has become I think he's only the fourth Arsenal player to start every single Premier League game in a season. And the first one for, 25 years maybe? Incredible when you think about it. No Arsenal players started all 38 Premier League games for that long. But Gabriel has this season. He's starting this game, so he's completed the set and ever present in the team. And the first one for a very long time. I can remember back in the day when there used to be lots of players who would be ever present in the team all through the season, wouldn't you? You'd get 2 or 3 every season. The goalkeeper used to play every game, and 1 or 2 others. But not anymore. Obviously, Aaron Ramsdale get a bit of an injury, didn't he, earlier in the season? So he missed the opportunity. Regenda says they're not strike. Stations closed off due to a cycle. Oh, was it a cycle race? Was it? Oh, okay. Cool. But anyway, it is glad that you're back anyway. It's been a bit of a scrappy game, but Arsenal have got the goals. Well, Granit Xhaka's got the goals. It's Granit Xhaka's day today, isn't it? It reminds me a little bit of, do you remember in the final season at Highbury when they each game was themed, wasn't it? Do you remember? And there was Dennis Bergkamp Day, wasn't there? Do you remember? When everyone was wearing their Holland shirts and he scored, didn't he? It was a bit like that, really. You know, the player that you want to score scores a goal on a certain day that's sort of almost dedicated to them. Anyway, Arsenal in possession now. Thomas Partey finds Bukayo Saka on this near side. He's causing a lot of problems. Saka's having a good start to this game. Martin Odegaard lays the ball back to Thomas Partey, and that's back with Saka again. Saka plays it up the line, but it's overhit. Martin Odegaard can't keep that in, and it's gone behind. It is going to be a goal kick to Wolves. We've played 20 minutes at the Emirates. It is Arsenal 2, Wolves 0. In fact, it's Granit Xhaka 2, Wolves 0. And that's the most important thing, isn't it? Good old Granit Xhaka. You've got to love him, haven't you? So there you go. Wolves now in possession. Long ball forward from Max Kilman. Up this near side. It's held up well, actually, there by... I'm not sure that was, actually. But anyway, Wolves back in possession again. It is back with the captain, Max Kilman. I say it does sound like he should be in a spy movie or something, doesn't he? Sounds like a special agent, doesn't he, Max Kilman? But he's not. He's a Premier League footballer that plays for Wolves, and he's a captain. Anyway, Wolves are in possession inside their own penalty area, which is where they've spent a lot of this game so far, and they're struggling to get into the Arsenal half. But we don't care too much about that, and I don't think Wolves are that bothered, if we're totally honest. In this game, they are safe and they've done well, and we'll see. Now the other scores, then, just to give you a quick rundown of the other scores then that's going on in the Premier League today. Aston Villa 1-0 up against Brighton. Brentford 0, Manchester City 0. Newcastle 1-0 up at Chelsea. It is Anthony Gordon. I think that's his first goal. Palace 0, Forest 0. Everton 0, Bournemouth 0. Leeds are losing at home to Tottenham. Harry Kane scored, so Leeds look as though they'll be going down. Leicester 0, West Ham 0. Fulham are leading at Old Trafford. Tete scored for them. And Liverpool are 2-1 up at Southampton. Jota and Firmino and Ward-Prowse has pulled one back for Southampton. Of course, their last game in the Premier League for a while. They've also got a free kick now over on that far side, which Martin Odegaard looks as though he's going to take. He does take it long. It's headed away, though, by Adama Traore, I think it was, doing his defensive duties. But Arsenal picked up the ball again. Jorginho plays it up this near side to Bukayo Saka. Sort of held up briefly there by the defender. Plays the ball in to Jorginho, gets it back. That's Trossard over on this near side. Saka plays it in again to Jorginho. He tried to thread it through actually to Saka. Good defending that time though by Wolves. And now it's Hwang can come out with the ball, and then he's been fouled there by Jorginho, I think it was. That's a clever foul from Jorginho. See, that's his experience, isn't it, in that midfield there, stopping the Wolves' counter attack. Just commits a foul on Hwang. He's not going to get a yellow card for it, and it's just a sensible foul. Hwang's holding his face. I'm not quite sure why, but anyway, that sometimes, that's why you need that experience in your midfield for that reason, so you can break up these attacks. So here we go. Anyway, Wolves now looking to try and get the ball for it. It's a long ball up that far side, but it looks like it's going to run out of play. It's been kept in by Nelson Semedo. He's done well. Nelson Semedo has done really well. And then he's fouled by Kiwior. And it is going to be a free kick to Wolves. Kiwior there, not great defending. He just got nutmegged actually, and then he pulled back Nelson Semedo. And it's going to be a free kick to Wolves. They look to try and get themselves back into this game. It's just on the edge of the penalty area over on that far side. It's more of a crossing opportunity than anything else. It's probably not going to. He's probably not going to be able to score from there. It's going to be Bueno, wearing number 64, like the chocolate bar. Bueno, it's a chocolate bar, isn't it? Anyway, it's going to be a free kick from Bueno. Curls it in towards the far post, header down. It's just gone all the way across the goal, and it's cleared away by Ben White. It was at the far post, and Wolves still trying to press for a goal back there. It's a good free kick actually. It caused Arsenal a few problems there. The header came in at the far post, and it was Ben White was forced to clear it away. I'm not sure if it was dropping in actually. Chelsea have equalised at Newcastle. It's an own goal actually from Kieran Trippier, which is strange. Aston Villa are 2-0 up against Brighton. Ollie Watkins has scored their second goal. And Southampton have equalised against Liverpool. It's Sulemana. So, there is a few goals flying in around the Premier League. The last day sometimes does that, doesn't it? When there's no pressure on a lot of teams, people relax and you just get better football. There's Nathan Collins with that header actually for Wolves there from that free kick. I'm not quite sure what Ramsdale was doing. But anyway, Arsenal up the other end, coming forward again. Bukayo Saka this time on the left-hand side, trying to wriggle his way through and try and get across him. But he's been held up well there. But the ball goes back to Leandro Trossard. With his sort of blonde hair, he looks a bit like Freddie Ljungberg, doesn't he, from back in the day when he used to dye his hair, didn't he? Anyway, Wolves deal with that particular attack. It's Collins, Nathan Collins, put it out for a throw to Arsenal. It's a throw which Jacob Kiwior is going to take, playing in the left-back position again for Arsenal. Now it's back with Trossard. And now Ben White, very central, finds Martin Odegaard on this near side. He's got Saka just ahead of him, but goes back instead to Thomas Partey. And now it's back with Ben White. Now Gabriel brings the ball forward, the Brazilian out to that far side now. Gabriel Jesus is out there. Gets the ball back again, Gabriel. Now it's with Thomas Partey. He's very central actually, since he's meant to be playing right back. Anyway, Saka now on this near side. He's causing a few problems too. The Wolves defence plays the ball back inside again to Thomas Partey. It's in to Trossard, Martin Odegaard. Saka's a little bit of space here. Saka cuts inside. Oh, that's a lovely finish from Bukayo Saka. It is 3-0. Cut inside onto his left foot. Curled it in. What a way to celebrate his new contract there with a brilliant finish. And another goal for Arsenal. 3-0. It's a walk in the park. We kind of expected it to be. No pressure FC. We're always going to turn it on when it goal actually. Thomas Partey it was, played it in to Trossard, then to Odegaard, to Trossard again. Lovely ball from Trossard to Saka. Nice touch inside, and then curled it with his left foot into that far corner. That's a lovely finish actually from Saka. And another goal for him to celebrate his new contract. Great stuff. Mark C says, Jack has just missed a good chance. We don't keep putting spoilers in, man, because it's ruining it for everyone. I'm about 5 minutes behind. I can't get a better stream unless anyone can find a better stream anyway. I'll just see if I can find something better because this is absolutely miles behind. But anyway, I did manage to find one. I was struggling before. Let me just see if I can find one. I'm sure Peacock had someone, didn't it? Peacock Sport. But I don't know what number Peacock Sport it is. Anyway, let's see if I can get a bit more up to date. I'm miles too far behind, aren't I? I must be 4 minutes behind. I must be something like that. Anyway, let's see if I can find something a bit better. That's a bit more up to date. Mark C says we're in the 33rd minute. Yeah, so I'm like 5 minutes behind. It's just pointless, isn't it? It's pointless being that far behind. So if I can find one that's a little bit more. It's only from the last day of the season. It's always the same, isn't it? Always the same. I don't know if Dazzen's got anything going on. Dazen sometimes has the Premier League, doesn't it? Maybe they have. Actually, I'll tell you what might have. BN Sports, they'll probably have it on, won't they? Let's have a look if I can find something on BN Sports. They've got Formula One on. That's no good, is it? We don't care about Formula One, do we? Let's see if we can find some of Premier League football. Terry says Xhaka back to normal. No. Xhaka's normal today. That's why he's playing so well. Because that's what he does. Oh, there's some tennis on. Is that the French Open? I might have to watch that later. I do like a good bit of tennis, I've got to be honest. Anyway, that is not for now, though, is it? So we'll leave that for the time being. We'll come back to that later, maybe the tennis, another time. Let's see if we can find some more better streams that are more up to date. Regina says, I'm watching a stream where it's 32 minutes. See, 32 minutes would do. I was wondering, Nottingham Forest winning one at Crystal Palace. So that one's on there. So maybe we're going to start getting a few more of the Premier League games now. Aston Villa 2-0 up against Brighton, as we said. Let's just see if we can find. It's funny, they picked them two games. Just suddenly, randomly, out of all the channels, they've got those two Premier League games on and none of the others. Very strange. Anyway, so we didn't get too far there, did we? On BN Sports, that was a bit disappointing because normally they're pretty good, aren't they? I'll have a look at this ESPN Plus thing, see if there's anything on there because somebody mentioned that was on. Let's have a look what's on ESPN. American football. No, that's not for me. Golf? A bit of golf. Not really what we want to see, though, is it? Is that boxing or is that just an advert for boxing? Some Gaelic football, is it, or Aussie rules? Looks exciting, doesn't it? But that's not what we're here for. That is not what we're here for. A bit of tennis as well there, which we'll maybe come back to, as I said. Baseball. No, this is all American, this, isn't it? They're not going to show the Premier League there, are they? Let's be honest. Right, okay. Let's see if I can get something better. Let's have a look. So what minute should we be on now? We'll probably be on, oh, hang on, 35 minutes. Is that roughly right? Is it? It must be around about right, mustn't it? We'll stick with this one for now because it's working. Mark C says, I'll give you something to ponder at half time. I'm pissed off we tossed away the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. Anyone else feel this way? Mate, honestly, I feel that way every single season when we get knocked out of the Cups because you can't dismiss any trophy. No club can be that arrogant to dismiss a trophy. I'd rather, everyone's got, there's been this big debate, hasn't there, on social media in particular about who's had the better season, Manchester United or Arsenal. Well, clearly Man United have because they've qualified for the Champions League like we have, and they've won a cup, so they've had a better season than us. We've qualified for the Champions League and haven't won a cup. So, and they've got a chance to win another cup final as well, aren't they? So, they've had a much better season. That's absolutely 100%. So, no, I don't like getting knocked out of any of the cups. I always think we should try and go for it. Oh, yes, we don't have the squad to maybe do that, but you certainly can't guarantee you're going to win the league. Certainly not with this Man City team. So yeah, I don't know. I want us to try to compete in every competition, go as far as you can. And yeah, absolutely annoyed every time we get knocked out of the cup. The Europa League annoyed me actually more this season because, at that time, we were still hopefully winning the league, wasn't we? But we were certainly the top four was the minimum that we looked like we were going to get at that point. So we were already basically going to qualify for the Champions League. We probably aren't going to win the Champions League, but the Europa League is a trophy that we could have won. We could win. So I was disappointed at the way we went out of that, actually, because I really wanted us to win it this season, because we haven't won enough European trophies. So that was the one that annoyed me more than the other two. The other two annoyed me as well, but it was the Europa League that maybe annoyed me the most, actually. Rajendra says, I feel we should be competing for the FA Cup. All of them. I think we should try and compete for all of them. We haven't. I say we can't be arrogant enough to dismiss any trophy. That one doesn't matter because this one's more important. No, every single trophy is important. Any trophy that we win is important, and that's what we should try and do. Mark C says we'll never get respect across Europe unless we win a European trophy. Yeah, we need to win more European. There's absolutely no doubt we do. Anyway, Saka's coming forward now on his near side, running at that Wolves defence. Had a good first half. Bukayo Saka chips the ball in. Oh, there was Granit Xhaka coming in, but he wasn't going to get to that one. And Wolves managed to clear it away, but not very far, actually. It's gone back with Arsenal. Leandro Trossard. We've played 38, nearly 39 minutes. Trossard's on a run. He was clipped there. Surely he was clipped, and it's going to be a free kick. It was João Gomez with the foul. But you're absolutely right. Yeah, we need to do better in Europe, don't we? We need to have a better record in Europe. And unfortunately, this season, I think we had a great opportunity, really good opportunity to win that competition. Rajendra says we need to win the Champions League next year. We're not going to win the Champions League next year, honestly. Have you not been watching our team? There's no way this squad can win the Champions League next year. We've not been in it for years. Next year is all about getting back in it again, getting through the group stage, and then seeing where we are and just learning to readapt to play at that level. Because most of these players at Arsenal haven't played in the Champions League for Arsenal. Most of them haven't played in the Champions League at all. So, that's something that is going to be a bit of a learning curve for some of these players as well, isn't it? And we need to, as a club, we need to just establish ourselves back in the Champions League before we can even think about winning it. I mean, yeah, it'd be great to win it next year. I'll be amazed if we get anywhere near to winning it, personally. But let's see what happens. We're in it, and let's give it a go. But yeah, I don't think we'll be winning it next year. I think it might take us at least 2 or 3 years to get the squad together to compete, because it's a different competition, isn't it? You need different things in your team, in your squad to win the Champions League, I think. And we need to, we're back in it now. We need to build towards that, and I'm sure we will. But I think it's going to take a couple of years at least till we can be really competitive. And there's a free kick there from Martin Odegaard, hits the wall. Tried to get it back, but Wolves can now bring the ball clear. I'm sure they'll just be looking to half-time. Wolves, hopefully for them, just 3-0 down, because it's been a difficult first half for them, hasn't it? Terry says, anyone else noticed Arteta is up screaming and shouting at the players, but last week when we needed him doing it, he was nowhere to be seen? Well, this is the thing, Terry. I mean, I'm going to touch on this a little bit more when we do our season review show. But if you notice, for us to win a game, or everything has to be almost perfect, and when things aren't perfect, then Arteta doesn't seem to have a clue what to do, how to turn it around. And I do think that's a worry. It really is a worry. As a Wolves player got in the way of that ball there, is now he's been winding and he's struggling a little bit there. It's actually Nathan Collins, and he's gone down. It might need a little bit of treatment, actually. He got the ball whacked in his chest. He's going to be okay from that free kick, and it is now going to be Arsenal just restarted the play. But no, you're right. And Arteta doesn't seem to, when things are going well, he's all confident, isn't he, on the side, doing this, that, and the other. But when it's not going well, he doesn't know what to do. I think that's the problem. He doesn't know how to change it. You could see last week at Nottingham Forest, and the game against Brighton as well, he's sitting on the dugout there thinking, what on earth do I do here? Everything that I want isn't happening. everything that we normally work on and try hasn't come off, and he doesn't know how to change it, does he? And that's his problem. And until he can learn to do that, we're never gonna be able to progress to that next level, are we? You're talking about Champions League. In the Champions League, you're going to get teams in the Champions League that aren't going to fall for the traps that we set teams in the Premier League week in, week out. The Champions League teams aren't going to fall for that. And what do we do then when it's not working? That's going to be interesting, isn't it? It's going to be an interesting. It's going to be good to see how Arteta does cope with the Champions League next season, actually, with the different type of football that's needed to do well in that competition. And it's going to be interesting to see what he does. Will he just stick to the same things that he's done all season this season? Will he just keep the same? Or will he realise that in the Champions League, to win the Champions League, you have to adapt. You have to. Otherwise, you're not going to get very far. Anyway, Wolves are coming forward now on this near side. They've had some reasonably good moments in this first half, but they don't look like they're going to score a goal. And that cross there was not a bad cross, actually, across the 6-yard box, but Arsenal have dealt with it quite clearly. Now we can have a breakaway, trying to come forward. I think everyone's desperate for Granit to get his hat-trick, aren't we? Steve says there, Arsenal first lost 8, they've done well. Arsenal first last 8 there. Done well in Champions League. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that Champions League next season. But we're in it. That's the main thing. And let's see. Wolves coming forward out of Ron at the far side. Nelson, Semedo. I do like him as a player. Actually, I think he's a good sort of wing back more than a natural fullback, isn't he? Gets forward well, and maybe that's a position, isn't it? The right back position. I think that we could maybe look at. I think we need more strength in that area, don't we? So he's a player. Good job for us. Good footballer. He's quick. Wolves coming forward again. That ball played forward, looking for the running behind here of Adama Traore. We know how much pace he's got. Plays the ball into the 6-yard box. Jimenez tried to lay it off. He couldn't quite get his shot away, but it was good defending from Arsenal in the end. And now we can come forward on the counter attack. Thomas Partey finds Bukayo Saka on this near side. Scorer of the third Arsenal goal into the last minute of the first half. Saka tried to play it across to Jesus, but it was a Wolves player back to cut out. Now Martin Ødegaard plays it back to Thomas Partey. Now it's with Jorginho and Thomas Partey again. Regenda says previous manager last Europe Cup easily 4-0. There was no backbone then. Yeah, I mean, it was 5-1 actually, wasn't it? Last time I was in the Champions League, we lost 5-1 to Bayern Munich. We lost 5-1 twice to Bayern Munich, didn't we? So anything's going to be better than that, isn't it? And Martin Ødegaard now dinks a ball into the penalty area, but Trossard has stopped his run, and the ball's run through to goalkeeper Jose Sarr. It is Arsenal 3 Wolves. And there's going to be 2 minutes of stoppage time. There's been more stoppages than that, hasn't there? Or was that just me messing around trying to find a feed? Anyway, Colonel's in the chat there. He says, "Hey, Rich, you good?" Yeah, I'm very good, mate. Hope you're well. Enjoying the nice weather that we've been having. And obviously enjoying a comfortable Arsenal victory today by the look of things, which is what we needed. But yeah. Oh, you mean the final? Oh, yeah, of course, the final Europa League. Yeah, against Chelsea. It was 4-1, wasn't it? Yeah, no, you're right. That was bad. But at least we got to a final, I suppose, even though it didn't quite work out that well, did it? That was another disappointing season, wasn't it? Bukayo Saka now on this near side turns away from Bueno, and then Bueno fouls him. And we've played a minute of stoppages at the end of this first half. Mark C says Chelsea were much stronger than us on the night. Yeah, they were. Yeah, much stronger. Yeah, we didn't help ourselves. Well, I thought we played well in the first half of that final, actually, didn't we? We were pretty good in the first half, and then we conceded a goal at the start of the second half, and then it all went wrong very, very quickly, didn't it? After that, so there you go. Steve says we were robbed in 2006. Yeah, well, potentially we were. That was the biggest disappointment, wasn't it? Colonel says Harry Kane 1 goal off 30. We so desperately need a striker like that with a few reinforcements at centre half to take City all the way next year. We definitely need a potential 30-goal striker. I agree. Just don't think that's Arteta's style, unfortunately. So we had a 30-goal striker, and he went in to play at left back, didn't he? Filling at left back when we didn't have the ball. Bukayo Saka now coming forward on his near side, finds Martin Odegaard. He's giving the ball away though, and Wolves would clear that away. That's really good play actually there from Adama Traore. Plays the ball up the line, looking for Raul Jimenez, but it's not a good touch for him, and Gabriel clears it up. And there goes a half-time whistle. Arsenal 3, Wolves 0. A comfortable first half. The game it's been played like an end of season game, hasn't it? With nothing riding on it. Arsenal have been pretty much in control from the very moment Granit Xhaka gave us the lead after 7 minutes. He added another goal soon after. And it was Bukayo Saka with a third goal, the pick of the bunch, actually. A lovely goal cutting onto his left foot, curling it into the far corner. Wolves have really threatened. Arsenal comfortably in control of this game, as we kind of expected that we would be. And at half-time, it is Arsenal 3, Wolves 0. And we're going to finish on 84 points, which is decent, isn't it? Let's be honest. So the scores elsewhere then. Let me just update this. So it is Aston Villa 2, Brighton 1 now. Undav has pulled one back for Brighton, heading towards half-time there. Half-time, Brentford 0, Man City 0, Chelsea 1, Newcastle 1, Nottingham Forest 1-0 up at Crystal Palace. It's Wamini again, who scored against us last week. He's got 6 in 4 games, hasn't he? Everton 0, Bournemouth 0. So, Everton are still in a bit of trouble. Leeds 0, Tottenham 1 though, so Leeds will definitely be going down. And Leicester are winning 1-0 against West Ham at home. Harvey Barnes with that goal. And as things stand, Leicester would be safe, and it'll be Everton and Leeds going down if it stays like that, wouldn't it? Man United have equalised against Fulham. It's Sancho with that goal, and it is Southampton 2, Liverpool 2. Match of the day tonight could be quite interesting, couldn't it? So as things stand, Everton are down on goal difference from Leicester. So Everton need to win. They're currently drawing at home to Bournemouth, which would be a shock, wouldn't it? Man United are going to finish third with Newcastle fourth, although they're both drawing. If Newcastle win, they will finish third ahead of Manchester United. Not that it matters really too much, I'm sure. I'm sure Newcastle fans are just delighted to be in the top 4 this season, aren't they? So, yeah, the relegation fight is still going on. Leeds look as though they're down. They are losing at home to Tottenham. But Tottenham can easily throw that away. They've thrown away Leeds all season, haven't they? But Everton need to win, and they're currently drawing. So that's the big game there. Terry says there, Harry Kane is the only striker in the Prem to score 30 insignificant goals each season. Well, I mean, they're significant enough to him, aren't they? I suppose. All goals are significant, aren't they? Let's be honest, in their own way. But yeah, imagine if we had a 30-goal striker in this team. That's what we need. Colonel says, want either Everton or Leeds to stay up. Leeds look down, but Everton snatch a goal, please. Yeah, it's looking as though Leeds are definitely down. It's looking that way, isn't it? I'd quite like Leeds to stay up, actually. I've got to be honest. I would quite like Leeds to stay up. But even a win for Leeds won't be enough, will it, if Leicester win? And Leicester are winning against West Ham with the Europa Conference League final coming up. Are they really that bothered about this game? They're safe. What you tend to find at the end of the season, if one team is just even slightly more motivated than the other team, it can make a massive difference. And that's sometimes why you get some strange results on the last day, don't you? But that's sort of how we are. But yeah, Leicester are winning at half time, so Leicester will stay up unless Everton can get a goal. So we'll see. It's going to be an exciting second half, a nervy second half. Everton always seem to find a way to survive, though, don't they? They've been in relegation trouble so many times, and they always seem to find a way to stay up, don't they, one way or the other. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do. Mark C says, going back a couple of days, which it was the 34th anniversary of one of our clubs. But indeed it was, yeah. I mean, we put some stuff out about it. We've talked about it plenty of times, haven't we, of course. That night at Anfield, we'll never forget what happened, will we? Brilliant night that was. First time I'd ever seen Arsenal win the league, something I never thought I'd ever see. So yeah, so excited about that. And it was a great, every single 26th of May, we always look back on that, don't we, with such great memories. Always watch 89 on that particular night, just to, look back on the great times. And nothing like that will ever happen again, will it? We were just lucky it was us, and we were lucky that we experienced it. and it was brilliant, wasn't it? Michael Thomas, wow. Every time I watch that back, even now, all these years later, every time you see him running through, I always think he's going to miss or he's going to get tackled because that's just always the way it seems, isn't it? But yeah, the hairs on the back of your neck always stand up, don't they, when you watch that? Just a brilliant moment in football history and in our history. Just great. Redemptor says Luton Town in the Premier. Yeah, they are. Not. I wouldn't say that's something worth celebrating particularly, but anyway, I suppose it is for them, but not maybe for the rest of football. Colonel says, love how we play so good with pressure off though on this game. I find it disgusting mentally. We have yeah, no, I agree. You're absolutely right. I mean, no pressure FCs. I always call us that because when the pressure's off, we relax and play great football. But as soon as the pressure's on again, we are unable to do it. And that's the way it is, unfortunately. That's where we are with this team and this manager. Not just this team and not just this manager. It's been a case for Arsenal for quite a long time, hasn't it? And that's the most frustrating thing, isn't it? You know, and I said this at the start of the season when we were winning games, top of the league, you know, 50 points from 19 games. It's like there's not so much pressure on them. And I kept saying then, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see how we do when the pressure's on, and we've crumbled as I kind of expected we would. Mark C says, still my number one moment, but I only started going to Highbury in 1980. You're a year ahead of me. I started going in 81. Of course, 89 will always be the greatest moment. You know, I think even if we'd experienced stuff from the earlier times, I still think every single person, every single Arsenal fan, 89 is the top. Anyone who was around at that time to experience it, that's the top moment, isn't it, in all of our lives, and it will never be beaten. So yeah, it'll always be number one, won't it? Such a great occasion, such a great night, and what a result at the end. Who would have thought that? Can you imagine this team having to go to Man City and win 2-0 on the last game of the season to win the league? We'd lose 4-1, wouldn't we, or 5-0 or something? That's what we'd do. But that team had something different about him, didn't they? The manager had something different about him as well. You know, he was a winner as a player, and that makes a difference as well, I think. But anyway, those were the days. Seeing Arsenal win the league, I never thought I'd ever see it happen. In fact, I don't think I'll ever see it happen again. But who knows? I suppose we haven't been far away this year, but we can see where we need to change things, not just in the players and the personnel. It is a mentality thing that Colonel mentioned there. 100% agree. That's exactly what it is. Anyway, I'm going to quickly get a cup of tea, so stay with me, and we'll be back very soon for the second half. It's Arsenal 3, Wolves 0. It's rather relaxed and it's rather good fun, which is nice. And I thought that's how it would be today. So yeah, I'll be back very soon for the second half. So stay with us, and we'll see you soon. Hello, welcome back for the second half coming up very soon. I've got my cup of tea ready to go. Look at that, lovely. Can't beat a good cup of tea at half time, can you? Colonel says there, my dad started going in the 70s. He always remembers the Peanut Man. I remember the Peanut Man and used to love when the guy with the badges came in Witherspoons. Doesn't do it anymore. It wouldn't have been Witherspoons then, would it? I wouldn't have thought. But yeah, I remember the Peanut Man outside the East Stand selling his peanuts. But there used to be someone in the north. When I first started going, I used to go to the North Bank, and there used to be a peanut guy who used to walk around the North Bank selling peanuts during the game. And then later I moved over to the Clock End, and funny enough, with no roof, the peanut guy didn't used to come around the Clock End. I never saw him there anyway. I used to remember him, yeah. And I used to remember there was along Avenel Road. Used to be great, didn't it? Before kick-off on a game, you'd walk up Avenel Road and there'd be all kinds of stuff going on, wouldn't there? You'd have obviously selling scarves and like badges, as you said. Obviously the peanut guy. There was everything going on, wasn't there? Avenel Road used to be fantastic, didn't it? On a match day before the game. I always used to get out of the station at Arsenal, that windy tunnel. Obviously come out of the station, turn left along Gillespie Road, go past the North Bank entrance, walk up to Avenel Road, and then walk along there to get into the Clock End. Always used to love that Avenel Road. I used to just love being around there. It used to be brilliant. Anyway, Wolves are making a couple of subs at half time. Looks like it is going to be Ruben Neves coming on, and as well Rayan Ait-Nouri, who's a left back, isn't he? I think so. He's coming on. And Ruben Neves as well. A player that we were maybe linked to, wasn't we, once or twice? Ruben Neves, very good player, of course, for Wolves. He's come on as well at half time. And he's got the captain's armband on for the second half as well. Because he is their captain. I don't know if he's been injured, Ruben Neves. And Ait-Nouri's on as well. I'm not quite sure who's gone off for Wolves. I'm sure we'll find out in due course. I'm finding that out. We'll see. But yeah, it's been a good season for Wolves, hasn't it? They've done the job they needed to do. They've stayed up, and the manager's done a great job. He's sitting in the stand today. Has he got a ban? Has he? The Wolves manager, a touchline ban, because he's up in the stand today. But anyway, not too sure if that's the reason why they're losing 3-0. It's just a motivational thing, isn't it? Really, I think for at this point in the season when you've got nothing to play for. You're away from home. It's difficult to raise yourself, isn't it? That's why a lot of games at the end of the season, you tend to see a lot of home wins in the games that there's nothing riding on them. Raul Jimenez there. I do feel a bit sorry for Raul Jimenez because before that really bad injury that he had, and I still don't think he's totally recovered, he was a great player, wasn't he? He was scoring 20 goals a season. And since that injury, since he's come back, he's not been the same, has he? Such a shame. And he's been nowhere near in this game. In fact, every time I've seen him play since he's come back, he's never been anywhere near, has he? It's good to see him playing again, but yeah, it's a shame what happened to him. Of course, Granit Xhaka, is he going to get his hat-trick second half? My man there in the picture behind me. Love Granit Xhaka, always loved him. And he's going out in style, which is what we wanted. And good luck to him in Germany next season. But yeah, let's see if he can finish with his hat-trick. It's going to be Arsenal to kick off this second half, attacking the goal to our left. The North Bank for the final time this season. We are off and underway in the Highbury, we're talking about Highbury in the Emirates sunshine. Phil says, do you remember the lad that used to always wear the same kit made from half of each home and away kit? He must struggle now. We have 3 kits all the time. Always used to see him at Highbury. Yeah, his name's Basso. He still goes to games now. I saw him actually a few weeks ago. He's always there. He's still got his half and half kit. He always does a home and the away kit. So he's all right with the 3 kits. He never uses the 3rd kit. It's just home and away kit. And Basso, his name is. And he is a legend, yeah. He's been going for years, hasn't he? I always used to like the way that the first game of the season, you always wanted to look out for him, didn't you, to see him with the new kit, the 2 new kits. Of course, back in them days, of course, we didn't used to change our kit every year, do we? But yeah, I remember him. Absolute legend, Basso. Absolute legend. He still is. And Arsenal won a free kick, but Bukayo Saka's just been fouled actually by Aït-Nouri, who's just come on. So he's made his mark very early on. Maybe they took off Bueno because he was struggling against Saka in that first half, and Aït-Nouri's probably thought, right, I'm going to boot him at the first opportunity. That's what he's done, and Saka's now needing some treatment. It looks like it might be that Achilles injury again that Mikel Arteta was talking about in the week. He's been struggling with an injury. It makes you wonder why he's been playing as much as he has. But anyway, again, second season in a row, Bukayo Saka was featured in all 38 Premier League games. He hasn't quite got the record that Gabriel's got because he hasn't started them all. He didn't start them all last season either. But he's played a part in every Premier League game of the season. Again, second season in a row, which is great, isn't it? I'm not sure what his number of consecutive Premier League appearances he's made now, but it's going to be well up there, isn't it? Probably won't be far off 100 because he played a lot of games at the end of the season before as well, didn't he? So anyway, it is a free kick to Arsenal over on that far side. Can Arsenal get a fourth goal? Granit Xhaka's at the far post waiting for a flick on, but it doesn't come to him. It's cleared away actually by Wolves. It wasn't a great free kick, if you're honest, by Martin Ødegaard, who's been pretty quiet in this game today, as he has been the last few weeks. Ramsdale then pings the ball into midfield to Jorginho. It wasn't a great ball, actually. Jorginho struggled to get it under control, but he's managed to shuffle it back out to Ben White. And now it's back with Aaron Ramsdale and the new all-black goalkeepers. Oh, he slipped it as he passed that ball, but it has found its target, which is Martin Ødegaard, we were just talking about. Brings the ball out to that far side to Bukayo Saka. Cuts in. As far as shot as he finds Martin Ødegaard, dinks the ball over the top in towards Leandro Trossard, but Wolves do manage to get it out. Arsenal putting for handball against Adama Traore. Referee says no, and Arsenal just get back a comfortable possession on halfway. Granit Xhaka now with the ball. Steve says go Southampton. 3. Is it 3-2 at Southampton? Is it? I mean, Liverpool aren't that fussed, are they? They can't finish in the top 4 anymore. That's why I say you do sometimes get these results, don't you? In the last game of the season, sometimes you do, don't you? Anyway, Everton are still 0-0 with Bournemouth. Leicester are still 1-0 up, so Leicester could survive. That would be dramatic, wouldn't it? Wasn't expecting them to survive, really. But anyway, I'm sure Everton will get a goal in the second half. And Arsenal now coming forward again. Jesus lays it off to Martin Ødegaard. Martin Ødegaard tries to play it through again to Jesus, but good defending, actually, there from Mario Lamina. Wonder if he's got a brother, Mario brother. Imagine he has. Anyway, it's a throw to Arsenal over on that far side, which Thomas Partey is going to take. Unusual Thomas Partey take. Actually, no, Thomas Partey does these long throws, doesn't he? Like I say, now he's playing right back. The fullbacks tend to take throws, don't they? But he's took a few, hasn't he? Because he's got a longish throw. But he doesn't look like he's going to take a longer throw. Oh, he is now. He's decided to. Granit Xhaka's in at the near post. Spin round, Granit. Get round at the back post. It'll get flicked on. You'll get your hat-trick. That's what you want to do, don't you? Granit Xhaka comes shorter, actually. It goes over the top. And Wolves again get it away. Not very convincingly, actually. It does fall to Adama Traore, who does well. The Spaniard muscular figure of Adama Traore looks more like a heavyweight boxer, doesn't he, than a Premier League footballer. But anyway, he's a decent player on his day, isn't he? He's a bit hit and miss at times, but he's definitely got quality. There's no doubt about that. His pace, his strength, and he can finish. He got a great assist, didn't he, last week for a goal in that draw against Everton that they had. That may not be enough to keep Everton up, but we'll see. Anyway, Saka now over on the far side, got a little bit of space again. He's had a good game. Bukayo Saka goes past Aït-Nouri, but Nouri gets a tackle in. It's going to be a corner though to Arsenal. Colonel says boring summer now, no football. The next season they're changing the ticket system at Arsenal for red members to play. Well, I hope so, because I'm a red member, so hopefully they will. If it means a bit more easier to get tickets, then that'll be good news. But let's see. Leeds are 2-0 down at home to Tottenham. Leeds look as though they are going to get relegated. It is Poirot, the French detective, who's got the second goal for Tottenham. And Leeds look as though they're definitely going down as things stand. It is Leeds joining Southampton. The third spot is still up for grabs at the minute, isn't it, between Everton and Leicester. Leicester currently in the driving seat. It's a corner to Arsenal over on that far side, which Bukayo Saka is going to take. There's just a bit of a delay there, some pushing and shoving inside at the penalty area that the referee, Andre Mariner, didn't really like too much. And the corner's been delayed. I think we're going to get on with it now. Saka it is who's going to take it. Granit Xhaka's at the far post. Can he get? I want him to go with his right foot. A perfect hat-trick. That would be perfect, wouldn't it? Perfect way to end his Arsenal quiz. Not a great corner. It's actually headed behind at a near post by Nelson Semedo. And it's going to be another corner, though, to Arsenal, who started the second half on top, as we have been pretty much most of this game, to be honest. It's going to be Saka with his corner again. Bit of a better delivery this time, because that first one wasn't too great, was it? This is a little bit better. Granit Xhaka tries to flick it on at an near post. It's coming to it's smashed into the net. It's Thomas Partey with the goal. He's been out of the team. He's back in the team today. He's playing at right back, and it's Thomas Partey's got the goal. It wasn't Granit Xhaka's hat-trick. It's Thomas Partey smashes it in, and it is 4-0. And it was a corner there from Bukayo Saka. It was flicked on at a near post. Arsenal claimed a penalty at first, but it fell to Thomas Partey. The Wolves goalkeeper was down, actually. Ben White pushed him over. Maybe that's a little bit fortunate that was given as not as a free kick against Ben White, pushing the goalkeeper over there. But anyway, the goal's been given, and it is Thomas Partey. Is that his third goal of the season? That's pretty good goal square season for Thomas Partey. In fact, the goal's been disallowed, is it? It's been disallowed. It was disallowed for that. Oh dear. Okay. I was going to say it looked like it was a foul by Ben White on the goalkeeper Jose. So it has been disallowed. Terry says it's time to pass. It isn't actually. The party's been called off because VAR have called it off, unfortunately. And I think that's the right decision. It did look a foul, didn't it? Let's be honest. By Ben White on the goalkeeper there from that corner. And Thomas Partey was denied his fourth goal of the season, third goal of the season. Colonel says that Ødegaard needs a goal to become highest scoring midfielder, overtake De Bruyne. Steve says Spurs are turning. Yeah, Spurs are turning up. Yeah, I say it was Poirot who scored the second one. He does need one more goal, Ødegaard. Yeah, but it depends what you call a midfield player, though, really, because the kind of categories change. Wolves coming forward now. Adama Traore cuts in, tries a shot. Don't know if it deflected, but it's been kept in on his near side anyway by Hwang. He plays it back to Ruben Neves, the half-time substitute for Wolves. He's got Hwang outside him now. Hwang's got a chance to get a cross in. It's a low cross to the edge of the box. It's Nelson Semedo with a shot. I'm not sure if that got deflected either, but it's gone behind now off Leandro Trossard. Is it going to be a corner to Wolves or a goal kick? I think it's a goal kick. Good defending that was there by Trossard. See, to me, Saka's a midfield player, and he scored more goals than Ødegaard. So I don't know. It depends on what you call a midfield player, isn't it? I suppose that's the thing, isn't it? I think Saka's a midfield player. So anyway, it's not us that decides, I suppose. But yeah. In any case, he does need one more goal. That'll put him on 16 for the season. In fact, I think he has scored more than Saka. I think Saka's on 14, isn't he, this season? But anyway, Saka's a midfield player as well. Anyway, this ball now played to this near side by Wolves. Nelson Semedo played it up the line, looking for Hwang, but Gabriel's there, and Gabriel's just been fouled by Hwang as well. It's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. There's no other goals to tell you about elsewhere in the Premier League other than Southampton, as we said, are beating Liverpool. It's the second one for Sulemana, and Tottenham have gone 2-0 with Poirot's goal. And elsewhere, it's the same as it was at half-time. So Everton are still waiting for their goal. Imagine how tense it is at Goodison Park at this moment. Can you imagine the tension there? I mean, we're quite lucky, aren't we? We've never been involved in a relegation battle. And I can't imagine what that would be like. But yeah, I mean, the tension at Goodison Park must be incredible at this moment in time as they're trying to suck the ball into the net to give them the goal that they need. Mark C says, you want a better feed now? Yeah, I think I've got a better one now. I'm on, what minute are we on? Hang on, I got some stats on. 55 minutes I'm on. I think I'm about not too far off, pretty much normal. So I think I'm doing okay. Terry says, Saka is an inverted right winger. Yeah, but a right winger to me is a midfield player, isn't it? It's a midfield position. It's not a striker, is it? You know, to me, there's three areas of the pitch: the defenders, the midfield, and the strikers. Really, isn't there? And Saka is in the midfield category for me. I know the roles are different now. He's kind of right at the front three, isn't he? Technically, you could say he's a forward player, which he is, but I don't know. I still look on that role as being midfield, but then I'm maybe a bit more old school. All these newfangled positions that I'm not really too clever with, really. Man United has gone 2-1 up against Fulham. Bruno Fernandes with that goal. So they are going to finish third as things stand. Well, they need to win to finish third, don't they? So they are going to finish third, Manchester United, by the look of it. And Newcastle will be fourth. They are currently drawing at Chelsea still, one each there. And Arsenal, as we know, 3-0 up. We thought it was 4-0, didn't we, briefly for a moment there when Thomas Partey smashed the ball in, but it's been disallowed. Glad it wasn't Granit Xhaka who scored that goal now, because imagine getting his hat-trick and it gets disallowed. That would be really disappointing, wouldn't it? He's still got time for his hat-trick. We've only played 57 minutes, so there's loads of time left. And that ball's played forward up his near side, looking for Leandro Trossard. He's got there as well, ahead of Nelson Semedo, who's inside the penalty area. Leandro Trossard looking for some support. Tips the ball to the far post, and it comes in. This time it is 4-0. It's Gabriel Jesus, 11th goal of the season. And it was well made there by Leandro Trossard. That's 2 assists for Trossard today. And this one's not getting disallowed. We're going to change the scoreline. It is 4-0. And it's Gabriel Jesus with the header there. Leandro Trossard it was with the assist. Great play from him. It was a good ball forward, actually, in the first place. I think it was Thomas Partey with the pass. Was it? Actually, no, it might not have been. Actually, it might have been Jorginho. It was Jorginho with the ball. He's well on the side. Leandro Trossard with his Freddie Ljungberg type hair. He's got on the ball well there, Trossard. He got past Nelson Semedo, tipped the ball to the far post. Gabriel Jesus is there, out jumped. I think it was Nathan Collins, and popped up his 11th goal of the season for Arsenal, and it is 4-0. Good header. It was a good header. Mark C says, lovely header at the far post. It was indeed. Steve says, beauty. Indeed it was. Colonel says, Everton have scored, have they? Oh, let's have a look. Have we got some drama at the bottom of the Premier League? Steve says, well, it's not really good that Everton score. We don't really care, really, do we? It'd be quite funny if they went down, actually. But anyway. Colonel says there, think old school, Rich. I like to set up on Football Manager with wide midfielders to take the ball to the byline, but now it's in the rules inside forwards that are inverted. Yeah, I know that is how it is, isn't it? I mean, I don't really play like computer games much, to be honest with you, but I would set my team up 4-4-2. That's how I would set it up. Exactly that. That's what we would do. That's the best way to play, isn't it? Everton are 1-0 up. It's just been confirmed who scored the important goal for Everton. Doucouré, Abdoulaye Doucouré. Well, anyway, Saka's going off now. He's been kicked from pillar to post. He's already injured anyway, and he's now going off for a much-needed rest. And hopefully he'll be back firing and fit again next season. Good game today, actually, despite his injury. Best game he's had for a while, Bukayo Saka. And it's going to be Reece Nelson to come on. Talk of him getting a new contract as well. So we'll see what happens there. Agenda says 4-0. Finally, we are scoring as we should. Yeah, because there's no pressure on us. That's why. So Reece Nelson's on and Bukayo Saka is off. We've played almost an hour and Arsenal are 4-0 up, cruising again. Like we did last game last season when the pressure was off, we beat Everton 5-1, didn't we? And we're going to probably, it's going to be a similar scoreline today. Could even be more goals because there's still half an hour to play. And we're still waiting for Granit Xhaka's hat-trick, aren't we? Which I'm sure we're going to get. Mark's in the chat here, my friend. Good to see you. Hope you're well. And Arsenal cruising this game. Not really been under any pressure whatsoever. And we're going to be winning our final game once again, which we tend to do. We haven't lost the final game of the season since 2005. Incredible, really, isn't it, when you think about it? That was the last time we lost the last game of the season. That was away at Birmingham. In fact, I think the last time we lost at home on the very last day of the season, if correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure it was 1987 when we lost to Norwich 2-1 at Highbury. I was at that game. It was really hot that day as well. Paul Merson scored for Arsenal, but Norwich won 2-1. I'm sure that's the last time we've lost on the final day of the season at home. we've lost away, I say, at Birmingham in 2005. This cross comes in from Wolves, looking to try and get a goal back, but they didn't manage to. Steve just says, Jesus, yeah, you're behind as I was before. It is 4-0. Jesus did score. This has got another one. Maybe I'm still behind. Mark C says, how many goals is that for Jesus? That's 11. 11 goals. He had a spell out injured, didn't he, midway through the season? Not a bad total, but even if he'd played all season, you're probably looking at 15 maximum, aren't you? Probably not even that many. And is that enough for your centre forward? But for me, no. I'd like to see our centre forward getting more than that. 25. What you want to see your centre forward, don't you, getting? But Colonel says they might as well get goal difference up. Not playing for anything. Well, what's the point of getting a goal difference up? It makes no difference, does it? We're not getting the extra points, are we? Because we get a goal difference up. Anyway, just enjoy getting a few goals. That's all we care about now. It'd be nice to see some goals flying in at the end of the game, won't it? And end the season with some goals. I say no pressure on us. It's nice in the sunshine. What more could you want? And it means we can watch Match of the Day tonight and enjoy it, can't we? More than we have done the last couple of weeks. But I didn't watch it last week, I've got to be honest. I didn't watch it. Arsenal coming forward now again over on that far side with Reece Nelson. That's a good ball into Jesus. Is Jesus going to get another goal? He tried to play it across. Granit Xhaka's getting forward more now. I think the players are going to try and set him up for his goal. Anyway, Thomas Partey now plays the ball in to Jesus. Oh, Jesus, lovely feet. Can he put it back? Oh, it's headed away. Trossard was in there looking to get a goal. He's only got one goal, actually, Trossard, this season for Arsenal. A bit surprising because I expected him to maybe score a few more, but he's contributed really well, hasn't he? Just can't quite. He hasn't managed to get the goals. There's a lot of assists he's got, though, and he's got 2 assists today, Leandro Trossard. But he nearly got himself a goal there. Thomas Partey's ball to Jesus. Jesus did really, really well. Got to the byline, chipped it over the goalkeeper. It was headed away there by Lamina. Lovely feet, though, from Jesus inside the penalty area. And then dinked it over the goalie. But Lamina's there just as Trossard was trying to get on the end of it and tap it into the empty net. But good play there from Jesus. Steve says 6 minutes. What 6 minutes? Sorry. I don't understand what you mean. Let me know what you mean by 6 minutes. There's a lot more than 6 minutes to play. We've only played 63 minutes, so there's a long time to go yet. Plenty of time, I say, for Granit to finish with a hat-trick. And I say, I've got my little tribute to him behind me there. He's a player that, I can remember those days, when he was getting criticised a lot. I was stood by him. I thought he was unfairly criticised for a lot of his Arsenal career, actually. So I'm really pleased it's turned out well for him in the end. Oh, that's nice play from Martin Ødegaard. Reece Nelson shot deflected. Good save from Jose Sarr. Martin Ødegaard done really well there, actually. He's had a quiet day today, the Arsenal captain, but he did well there. It shows some good feet there, actually, just on the edge of the penalty area. Went past, it's actually just inside the penalty area. They went past a couple of players, pulled it back to Reece Nelson. His shot was deflected. That's a good save, actually, with his left hand there from Jose Sarr. Could easily have gone past him with a deflection, but he did well and managed to keep that one out. And it stays at 4-0. That was good play, though, from Martin Ødegaard. Now, Arsenal just, a little bit sloppy that was there from Granit Xhaka, but Arsenal won the ball back really well there. And now it's with Thomas Partey. He's not really playing right back at all, is he? He's more in midfield. I think we pretty much played 3 at the back, if we're totally honest. That's pretty much what we've done. Regenda says there, the more goals we score, the better, as we are learning to win well, as we should get other teams fearing playing us. Yeah, but when this game's irrelevant, though, isn't it? We need to do this when the pressure's on, not now when there's no pressure on. All suddenly, Granit Xhaka's clear on his near side, tries to put a cross in. He did, but it was deflected away by Wolves. In fact, there's an offside flag up anyway, and it's going to be a free kick too. I mean, it's nice to score goals. Of course it is. It breeds confidence, but it's not like we've got another game next week to get the confidence from, is it? It doesn't matter today whether we won 1-0 or whether we win 8-0. It's in the season you need to build your confidence up by winning games by a lot of goals, and that gives you confidence and makes teams fear playing it. But we're not playing anybody now until August, are we? So no one's going to remember that we beat Wolves 6-0 on the last day of the season, are they, really? When we line up on the first game of next season. But if we're playing a game next week, then it's going to be fresh in other teams' minds, isn't it? And that's why you've got to do it during the season as well. We haven't done it enough, have we? Thomas Partey's coming forward now A little bit more freedom he seems to be. Martin Ødegaard on the edge of the penalty area, twisting and turning, keeping his balance well. He's got a lot of good. He's got good balance, hasn't he, Martin Ødegaard? You have to say. Jorginho chips the ball forward, looking for Jesus again. He's not going to get there. Throws himself to the ground, and the ball goes through to Jose Sarr, the Wolves goalkeeper. Just made a really good save from Reiss Nelson a few moments ago. And Wolves now looking to try and get a little bit of possession. They've not really. Have they even had a shot on target in this game? Not that I can remember. They may have had one. Anyway, giving the ball away again. Trossard now coming forward. Is he going to score with his blonde hair? Oh, he tried to fire it in the top corner. Good effort that was there from the little Belgium. In fact, he may have got a deflection, that shot. We'll see. We've got a comment there saying Wolves would remember it next season if it was an 8-0 draw. Well, yeah, Wolves remember it, yeah. If we play Wolves' first game of the season, they might. There's another good save, actually, from Jose Sarr there, from Trossard's effort. That was going in. Touched round by the goalkeeper. Regenda says it does for setting up for next season. Well, I don't know. Next season's a long way off yet. Anyway, there's two more substitutions from Wolves. Hwang's going off. And who else is going off? Kilman's going off and Hwang's going off. And it is going to be Boubacar Traore. So now they've got two Traores on. And Totti as well coming on for Wolves. So they've made two more substitutions there. Boubacar Traore and Adama Traore, which is a bit nuisance, isn't it? Annoying. Anyway, Trossard now on this near side for Arsenal. Dinks the ball into the penalty area. Martin Ødegaard tries to get it across, but it's hit the defender. In fact, it was Adama Traore. It's gone by for another corner to Arsenal. 67 minutes played. It's a comfortable victory this for Arsenal. And it's our fifth corner. Wolves have had two. Another short corner. Trossard played it to the edge of the box to Reiss Nelson. He's going to try a shot, is he? No, he wasn't able to. He plays it out to the far side instead. Granit Xhaka chipped it to the far post, looking for Martin Ødegaard, but it's a Wolves head that's there. Adama Traore again, and Jose Sarr has grabbed that ball there. Steve says there it's 4-2. Is it 4-2 to Southampton? Let me just have a look who scored their fourth goal. It is. It's Adam Armstrong with it. And Southampton are going to finish a disappointing season for them with a victory. Leicester are 2-0 up now. It is Faz who has scored, but it may not be enough because Everton are still beating Bournemouth. So as things stand, it is going to be Leicester and Leeds to go down alongside Southampton. Everton will survive that goal from Decore, but it's still a long way to go. So anything can happen. Things can change still at the bottom of the table. If Bournemouth can get a goal, it could save Leicester. But Leicester are doing all they can do. They're winning their game. Leeds are losing. So Leeds will be going down. It'll be quite interesting to hear what Sam Allardyce has to say about all of that later on. He's had some very interesting press conferences lately. I've enjoyed listening to him, actually. It's quite funny. Interesting guy. Anyway, the Arsenal coming forward now on that far side. Martin Ødegaard again, finding a lot of space now. We're 4-0 up. He's got the ball again off Jorginho. He's done all right today, isn't he? It's difficult to judge the Arsenal players really in a game with no pressure against a team with nothing to play for. But there's been some good performances out there for Arsenal today, hasn't there? And Jacob Kiwior in possession at the moment. A commentator says the game is over. Yeah, well, no, the game's not over. It's we've got 20 minutes to play. It's over in terms of result. It's the Arsenal have won. It's just what the scoreline is going to be. It's 4-0 with 20 minutes to play. It's Jorginho now in midfield for Arsenal. Plays out to the far side to Jacob Kiwior, to Ben White. Sorry, finds Thomas Partey. Gets it back to Jorginho. Now it's over on that far side. Reiss Nelson, the substitute, come on for Bukayo Saka. Got Arsenal's third goal today. Bukayo Saka celebrated his new contract with a goal. That's what we like to see. And Granit Xhaka is celebrating his last game for Arsenal with 2 goals. Can he get his hat-trick? That's what we're waiting for. It's what everybody's waiting for. A Granit Xhaka hat-trick is be first. It may well be the first ever hat-trick of his professional career. It's certainly be his first ever hat-trick for Arsenal. And it would actually take his tally for the season to 10 goals. Incredible. Anyway, Jorginho dinks that ball over the top. It was looking for Reiss Nelson, but it kind of, the spin on the ball kind of held it up a little bit, and Wolves were able to get it clear. And Ruben Neves now plays it to Nelson Semedo on this near side. Steve says you're behind. Well, I think I've always been behind, mate. Don't worry, it's fine. Wolves now trying to bring the ball forward. That's a long ball actually up this near side. It's a good ball as well actually. Finds Raul Jimenez. He's got Gabriel for company. Plays the ball square instead. Oh, a little bit too long there. And Jorginho won it back. But there's a foul committed there actually by João Gomez. And it is going to be a free kick to Arsenal on the edge of the Arsenal penalty area. A rare attack from Wolves, who are rather limping to the end of the season, aren't they, Wolves, today? And Arsenal have been in control of this game right from the start. Those 2 early goals from Granit Xhaka really helped to settle us down. We're coming forward again now. Martin Odegaard plays it out to that far side. Thomas Partey striding forward. Plays it out to Reece Nelson. Playing in the Bukayo Saka role. And we lose the ball there actually. And Wolves are now coming forward with Traore. Plays a 1-2 inside the centre circle. Adama Traore, that is. There is the other Traore. Boubacar's on as well. So there's 2 Traores on for Wolves. And they're coming forward again now on this near side with Nelson Semedo. Plays the ball up to Adama Traore on this near side. Little back heel again. Finds Nelson Semedo. But Kyrgios across there with a good tackle. It's gone out for a throw to Wolves. We've played 72 minutes. Arsenal 4, Wolves 0. A comfortable Arsenal victory. The Wolves manager, he must have a ban, mustn't he? Because he's up in the stands. So anyway, Wolves are coming forward though on this near side. Cross comes in from Ruben Neves to the edge of the 6-yard box. And it's headed behind. It's going to be a Wolves corner. It was Ben White there with a defensive header as Raul Jimenez was coming in, wearing his protection around his head. That head injury that, of course, happened here, didn't it? 2.5 years ago, that clash with David Luiz, sickening collision it was. You know, Wolves have got a corner now, which Ruben Neves is going to take for Wolves in the sunshine over on that far side in towards the near post. It was flicked on, but it was headed clear by Granit Xhaka. And now Arsenal have got maybe a chance for a breakaway. Gabriel Jesus is going to chase after this. But good covering there from Mario Lemina. And Wolves now back in possession again. Just knocking the ball around in midfield, and they're looking to try to get a consolation goal. And I say we don't keep too many clean sheets, do we, at home? So I won't be surprised if Wolves do get a goal from somewhere, even though they've not really threatened to get one. And Arsenal almost win the ball back there, Jorginho. It was Boubacar Traore's won the ball, and now Nathan Collins plays it forward. And again, Arsenal win the ball back high up the pitch, still looking determined to try to win the ball. In fact, Gabriel's conceded a free kick. Steve says 4-4 Liverpool Southampton. Is it? Well, they've scored 2 quick goals over there. I keep forgetting about the score. Anyway, we're making 2 substitutions, and Granit Xhaka's going off. What are they taking him off for? Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? Granit Xhaka's going off anyway. What a great game he's had. What a great Arsenal career he's had. And this is his last game for Arsenal. What a way for him to go out with 2 goals today. Gives a big round of applause to the Emirates crowd. Always remember that moment, of course, against Crystal Palace a few years ago. He didn't quite end the same way as it has today, did it, that day? But he deserves all the credit that he gets. Granit Xhaka, he's had a great career at Arsenal, and he's going to be replaced by Emile Smith-Rowe. So Emile Smith-Rowe is going to get some minutes on the pitch. And Fabio Vieira is coming on as well. I'm not sure who the other player to go off is, actually. All the focus is, of course, on Granit Xhaka. I'd have kept him on for another 5 minutes. Fabio Vieira's on. And Martin Odegaard's gone off as well. The captain gets substituted yet again. And Emile Smith-Rowe is on. And he's going to get, 15 minutes today, Emile Smith-Rowe. What a season to forget for him. He's not started a game all season, Emile Smith-Rowe. Incredible, really, when you think about it. Not started one game. Anyway, Wolves get a free kick, and it's headed behind. It's going to be a corner to Wolves, actually. So Martin Odegaard was the other player replaced. Not his greatest game today, you have to say. And Granit Xhaka, Arsenal career is done. Done and dusted for Granit Xhaka, but a great Arsenal career he's had. And not many players have survived the sort of stick that he's had to take in his Arsenal career, and he's come back strong. Wolves just headed that behind, actually. It's going to be a goal kick to Arsenal. Tottenham are 3-1 up now against Leeds. Harry Kane's got his 30th Premier League goal of the season. Harrison's pulled one back for Leeds. It is 4-4. Jota's got his second goal for Liverpool and Gakpo as well. It's all happening. It's all happening in the Premier League. Everton are still 1-0 up. Crystal Palace have equalised against Nottingham Forest. It is Hughes with the goal. And elsewhere it's still as it was. So Everton are just hanging on at the minute. They are 1-0 up against Bournemouth and they are going to survive. And it's going to be Leicester and Leeds to go down with Southampton. Redenda says Odegaard. Yeah, it's Odegaard that went off again, yeah. Thanks for clearing that up. I missed it actually when the ball went up. We were so focused on Granit Xhaka going off. And yeah, not many players have come back from what he's come back from. And turn things around in the way that he has. So you have to give him a lot of credit. And I say I've always stuck by him. We're also coming forward again now, Jesus. And we've got a man over. Jesus going to go on his own. Oh, he should have passed it. He got tackled inside the area by Adama Traore. It's with Trossard now, though, still. Trossard thinks the ball towards that far post, headed behind by... who was that headed at behind? It may well have been Boubacar Traore, actually. I'm not quite sure it was. That was a great tackle there, actually. Really good tackle. By Mario Lemina, but it is another corner to Arsenal over on that far side. And the final day drama is happening at Everton, really. That's the game. Well, I mean, Southampton's been a great game, hasn't it? 4-4 against Liverpool. But that's what you get, you see. No pressure on teams play. They just open up, don't they? And play some expansive football, which is what we've done today as well. You know, Ben White's in there again, battling away on the goal line as this corner comes in from Fabio Vieira to the 6-yard box. It was Kyrgios in there looking for his first Arsenal goal. Esteban cleared it away. Kyrgios shot. Oh, Kyrgios scored his first Arsenal goal. A shot on the turn. Jose Sarr should have saved it, but he didn't. It's gone beyond the goalkeeper, and it is another goal for Arsenal. It's the first goal for the big pole. And for the second year in a row, Arsenal scored 5 on the last day. Kyrgios shot there straight at the goalkeeper, really. Sarr, and he's pushed it into the net. Wasn't great goalkeeping at all there. It was Smith Rowe's going to get an assist for that, maybe. He knocked the ball down. It may have got a slight deflection as well on the way, but it doesn't matter. It's Kyrgios' goal, his very first ever Arsenal goal. And Arsenal lead 5-0. And it's one the goalie. I want to forget that one, wasn't it? Definitely. He should have saved it, but it's gone in. And Arsenal now lead 5-0. And Kyrgios has got his first ever Arsenal goal. And just as he scores the goal, he's going to get taken off. He's getting taken off, and it's Eddie Nketiah coming on. But Kyrgios gets his first goal and then gets taken off. And Kieran Tierney's come on as well. And Jesus is going off as well. And Kieran Tierney is going to probably get his last 10 minutes or so in an Arsenal shirt. And it's Trossard that's gone off as well for Nketiah. So more substitutions for Arsenal. It is 5-0. And I say second year in a row, we've scored 5 goals on the final day of the season, which is nice, isn't it? And Smith Rowe's going to get an assist for that as well. He's not started the game, but he's going to get an assist for that. It was his little touch inside the air off his chest, and then it was a swivel and a shot. Redenda says it was an assist. Yeah, it was an assist for Smith Rowe. Yeah, we'll give that to him, definitely. He chested it down. I think he was trying to chest it down for himself, but it actually went to Kyrgios, who swiveled and shot and scored. Fabio Vieira now in possession for Arsenal. Our biggest win this season is 5-0 against Nottingham Forest here at the Emirates earlier in the season. And are we going to beat that today with another goal? Eddie Nketiah looking to score again. He's got 9 goals this season. Eddie Nketiah, Kieran Tierney now plays the ball forward to Gabriel Jesus, gets to the byline and then he's tackled. It's going to be another corner. Lemina again with the tackle. He's done quite well at the back, Lemina. He started in midfield. He's now dropped into the back 4 and he's done okay, hasn't he? But he's in a defence that's conceded 5 goals, so I don't suppose he'll look at it like that, will he? Everton are still winning. West Ham have pulled a goal back at Leicester, but there's some tension there as well now. And it's 4-0 who scored for West Ham. It's still Leicester 2, West Ham 1. This corner now comes in from this near side towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away though by Wolves. We just probably want this game finished and the season finished for them. They've done what they needed to do. They've stayed up. The manager's come in and done well, hasn't he? As Steve says, yeah, Terry, are you with us? Yeah, no, Terry's been quiet in the second half, hasn't he? Not heard from him for a while. I don't know if he's having a lie down. All these goals have maybe worn him out. Anyway, Aaron Ramsdale goes long. He'll be desperate to keep a clean sheet, won't he, Aaron Ramsdale? We've not had enough clean sheets at home, have we? So he'll be desperate to get one. And Arsenal may well end up being the top scorers on the final day of the season because we've scored 5. Oh, Terry is here. How you doing? Good to see you. I'm glad you're still with us. Thought you'd fallen asleep. Anyway, Wolves now in possession. Boubacar Traore plays the ball square to Ruben Neves. And we've played 82 minutes at the Emirates. It is Arsenal 5, Wolves 0. As comfortable as a victory as you could wish to see. And I say it's just a matter of can Arsenal keep this clean sheet and see it through. A shot across there from Wolves into the Arsenal penalty over hit. And Thomas Partey is going to scramble over there and get the ball. Terry says there, the old woman won't stop bloody talking. Well, that's what they do. It's what they're good at. So, you can't take away one of their best skills, can you? Stop them talking. That's what they're good at. So that's fine. Anyway, it looks like it might be a free kick to Arsenal. Is it going to be? I'm not quite sure what happened there, but anyway, I think it is a free kick to Arsenal. See Paul Davis there in the crowd. Paul Davis has been on this channel, actually. That was a great show, wasn't it? I don't know if you saw that. It's still on the channel if you missed it. Paul Davis, great chat that was. And I'm hoping actually to get another former Arsenal player coming on this show as well in the next few weeks. Ball played across. It's going to be 6, is it? Oh, it was Reece Nelson's cross. And it was Eddie Nketiah threw himself at it there, trying to get himself his goal for the day. But he couldn't quite get on the end of it. And it's gone behind. Lovely play, though, from Reece Nelson. Kieran Tierney made advance into the box as well. But Eddie couldn't quite get a touch. Any touch from Eddie there would have been a goal. Would have been another assist for Reece Nelson. But Eddie couldn't quite get there. He threw himself at it. Mark C says, Sol Campbell looks like the size of a wardrobe now. Yeah, he was always a big lad, wasn't he? But yeah, he's an even bigger lad now. But yeah, he's a unit, isn't he? Definitely. There's no doubt about that. He is a big unit. So there's no further goals anywhere else that we can see. And so far, Everton are still winning. Steve says a fridge. Yeah, perhaps a fridge, yeah. Anyway, Wolves are making another substitution now. And it's going to be young Joe Hodges coming on for them. A big opportunity for him. And it is João Gomez who's going off. And young Joe Hodges coming on for Wolves. I don't know if that's his first game, but he's a young player. He won't have played too many games, really, for Wolves. And Everton are still winning 1-0. Are they going to survive again on the final day? Do you remember that dramatic game against Wimbledon that time when they won, didn't they, to stay up? And as Limpar played for Everton that day, didn't he? And so they've done it before, haven't they? Terry says Maya Women would make a good crash test dummy, the amount of pranks she has. Well, that's just women drivers for you, mate. Again, you see, that's what it's about, isn't it? Steve says, shame, one more year. Anyway, the ball played over the top by Wolves. Are Wolves going to get a consolation goal in this game inside these last 5 minutes? That would make Aaron Ramsdale not very happy, would it? Giving away his clean sheet. But they've really threatened a goal, haven't they? Let's be honest, Wolves. They've been really poor today, but they've done their job. And that's all that they can have hoped for. I say last time we played Wolves, just before the World Cup, they were bottom of the Premier League. They looked in big trouble, didn't they, at that particular time? But they've turned it around and they've stayed up. And you have to give them a lot of credit for that, don't you? But they are keeping some possession here. Hodge there with the ball. It's now back with Nathan Collins. Gets it back again, the Irishman, looking to just keep possession. Wolves now. 5 minutes to play here at the Emirates. The last 5 minutes of the season. And Arsenal are finishing in fine style. And we're looking maybe for more goals if we can win the ball back. We forced Wolves back again, but Wolves are just keeping possession now. And they are just going to probably be glad to hear the final whistle, you feel, in this particular game. And I say I'm sure their fans will be pleased that the way that they finished this season in general to stay in the Premier League. And they don't have to have that tension of the last day that Everton and Leicester have been going through. Anyway, Arsenal coming forward again. They're looking for a 6th goal, which would make it our biggest win of the season if we can get it. Fabio Vieira plays it up this near side, looking for Reece Nelson. Slightly overhit that pass, but Reece Nelson's got there. In fact, he's running inside the penalty area now, Reece Nelson. Is he going to get a cross in? Plays it back instead to Jorginho. Thought about a shot. Now does try a shot, but it's gone high over the crossbar. Jorginho looking for his first Arsenal goal, because that one at Villa Park, of course, was an own goal, wasn't it, off Emi Martinez. Ruben Neves just got a hand across his face there by Thomas Partey earlier on in that particular move. But anyway, we're not worried too much about that. So the scores then on this final day so far is Aston Villa 2, Brighton 1. Aston Villa will qualify for the Conference League. Brentford have just scored against Man City. Pinnock with 5 minutes to play. Late goal there. Chelsea 1, Newcastle 1, Crystal Palace 1, Nottingham Forest 1, Everton still 1, Bournemouth 0, Leeds 1, Tottenham 3. Leeds are down. Leicester 2, West Ham 1. Leicester could still survive if Bournemouth can get a late goal. Man U 2, Fulham 1. Man U are going to finish third if it stays like that. And Southampton 4, Liverpool 4, which has been the exciting game of the day, really, hasn't it? There down on the south coast in the sunshine. Anyway, Arsenal now just looking to knock the ball around these last few minutes. We've played 88 minutes here. There'll be a bit of stoppage time. Kieran Tierney now coming forward. It's going to be his last involvement in an Arsenal shirt. You do feel as though he may well be off in the summer. I don't know why. I'm kind of hoping that Bournemouth might score and send Everton down and keep Leicester up. I'm not sure if they're even threatening a goal, but anyway, that's what's going on there. Leicester are still winning. Of course, if a goal for West Ham now would keep Everton up anyway, wouldn't it? Even if Bournemouth did score. But is there going to be late drama at the bottom? I said 5-1. It was close. Yeah, no, you're very close. Yeah, but it still could be 5-1 because there's still time for Wolves to get a goal. And I say we do tend to concede at home. Generally, we've had the least number of clean sheets at home. I think the second least in the whole camp. I think it's only Southampton have had less clean sheets at home this season than us. That's an issue that we need to improve next season as well, isn't it? Along with a few other bits and pieces that we know about, and yeah, being able to keep clean sheets at home. So this will be good if we can get one in this particular game, won't it? Everton still 1-0, Leicester still 2-1. The survival drive is going to go down to the very last few minutes, it seems, with some tension there in Leicester and Everton. But Everton are so far getting the job done. Arsenal coming forward again. Wolves going forward again. Adama Traore. Are they going to get that late consolation, Wolves? Adama Traore cross it in towards the box. Header comes in at the far post. It's over the crossbar. A lot of the Wolves fans have already gone home. I think it's young Joe Hodge there getting on the end of that cross, trying to get himself a goal. But anyway, Terry says, yes, Jesus 4-0. Yeah, well, that was quite a long time ago, wasn't it, that one? Are you catching up with all your comments now, are you? Oh, dear. Anyway, we are now into the final. Well, we've now played the 90 minutes. Mark C says, come on, Bournemouth. Indeed, yeah, come on, Bournemouth. Be good, wouldn't it? Anyway, Arsenal coming forward again, looking for maybe a 6th goal. Reece Nelson's got him behind. Sorry, Jesus got him behind. He's found Reece Nelson now. And the ball's played back across to Kieran Tierney. That's with Reece Nelson. Reece Nelson again. And Arsenal going to finish the season. It's been a disappointing finish overall, but we've done a good job today. 4 minutes of stoppage time we're getting, and we're just into that now. And Arsenal going to finish with a 6th goal. I say it would be our biggest win of the season. In fact, it would be our biggest Premier League win under Mikel Arteta, wouldn't it? In fact, it would be equal to the biggest ever win under Mikel Arteta, which was a 6-0 win at West Brom in the Carabao Cup at the start of last season, if you remember. Aubameyang's hat-trick. He got a hat-trick that day, didn't he? Phil says there, we've got an impressive goals tally this season. We have, but we've also conceded far too many as well. If you look at the goals we've conceded, that's been the issue, hasn't it, as well? We have scored a lot of goals, you're right. Another 5 today. It must be nearly 90 in the Premier League have we got. It might be more than 90. Bartley says, come on, lads, don't tap it about for the Olays. Go for a 6. Yeah, it'd be nice to get a 6, wouldn't it? Anyway, Jorginho's gone down injured. Another decent game from him. I wonder if we'll be seeing him at Arsenal next season as well, Jorginho. I certainly hope so. Oh, someone just fired a free kick right in his face. It was Ruben Neves. Oh, he was just walking away. Jorginho was just walking away. Wolves had a free kick. Ruben Neves has taken a free kick and it's hit Jorginho smack in the face. He wouldn't have been expecting it because he was looking the other way. And it's just hit him on the side of the face there. He was just walking away and, oh, bang. That's going to be a sore one. That he's gone down and he's getting some treatment now. Jorginho, whoa, smack right in the face. Oh dear. Anyway, he's going to be okay, I'm sure. Ruben Neves is apologising. He certainly didn't mean it, did he? There's no doubt about that. Mark C says 10 minutes added time at Goodison. Is there really? Wow. Okay. What we might do then, when this game's finished, which will be the next couple of minutes, we may well see if I can find a stream for Everton and just watch the last few minutes of that then, just to see. Because that's where the drama is, isn't it? Because Leicester are 2-1 up against West Ham. They're going to get their job done. Leeds are already down because they're losing 3-1. And it's just whether Everton can hang on to that 1-0 lead against Bournemouth. Anyway, Jorginho is going to get back to his feet in a minute, having got that ball right in his face. That happened to me a few times. It's certainly a sore one, isn't it? And he's getting back on his feet again now. The Arsenal fans are enjoying their afternoon in the sunshine. And why not? 5-0, it's good, isn't it? It's a shame we couldn't have done this in some of the other games where we needed to win. But anyway, Terry says, that's the first proper header Jorginho has won this season. Yeah, it probably is, yeah. He didn't really win it, did he? It just hit him right in the face. But anyway, he's going to be okay. That's the main thing. And yes, it is still Everton 1, Bournemouth 0. The drama is going to continue for a bit longer. They've played 2 minutes of stoppage time there. We've played 3.5 minutes here. We're going to get a bit more now, though, aren't we? Due to the fact that there was that injury there to Jorginho. And he looks okay anyway, which is the main thing. And we are coming into the final few seconds of the Premier League season everywhere around the country. And Arsenal finishing with a big victory. Nelson Semedo with that cross into the near post. It's deflected off Gabriel, and Aaron Ramsdale will prevent the corner. We've played the 4 minutes of stoppage time now. It's just a matter whether else the referee is going to add on at the end of the game. And we shall see. Rajendra says a concussion. So I don't know if he was concussed, was he? I'm not sure. I don't think they took him off, have they? Or have they? I don't know. Anyway, Ramsdale goes long. And Eddie Nketiah is suddenly in. Are we going to finish with a 6-goal? Eddie Nketiah, he's gone a bit wide. He needs some support maybe. Pulls the ball back. Oh, and it was cleared away there by Nathan Collins. And Arsenal almost got the 6th goal, but not quite managed it there. There's a mistake at the back actually there, and suddenly Eddie Nketiah found himself clear on this near side, Arsenal's left. It was too much of a tight angle to shoot. He tried to pull it across the goal, but it was put behind by Collins, and it is going to be a corner to Arsenal right at the end of this game. It's going to be Fabio Vieira with it, and Arsenal going to get one more chance to get the 6th goal. Potentially we might do, but we'll see whether or not we will. We scored 1 goal from a corner this afternoon, the Jacob Kiwior goal. Corner comes in, the header comes in from Gabriel, it goes up in the air, it's then cleared away by Wolves, but not very far actually, and now they can complete the clearance. We've played 5.5 minutes of stoppage time. In fact, there goes the full-time whistle. It has finished here at the Emirates. Arsenal 5, Wolves 0. Good Arsenal performance today, comfortable victory. 2 goals for Granit Xhaka on what's going to be his last appearance for Arsenal. Brilliant performance from him. The other goals were scored by Saka, Jesus, and Kiwior. Terry says, yes, we have sealed first loser spot. Well, we sealed that a little while ago, didn't we? Those 2 early goals today from Granit Xhaka were, in the end, important, wasn't they? That give us that victory, put us on the way to that easy victory. And the players already, Zinchenko there with his daughter, and the the final game of the season is always nice. I think the players do their walk around the pitch, and that it seems to be what we're going to be doing. Granit Xhaka, for the final time at the Emirates, got himself 2 goals. The Wolves players go over to applaud their fans over in that far corner. They didn't give them anything to cheer today. It was all about the Arsenal performance. A very, very good performance it was. And Arsenal have won the final game of the season. We scored 5 again on the last day. I said the second season in a row we've done that. And a good performance it was. And Granit Xhaka with 2 goals for him on his final appearance at the Emirates. Great stuff. I'm sure he knew I had his picture up, but that was probably why he got them 2 goals. Took them very well as well, didn't he? Very early in the game. We've got some more full-time scores coming in for you. Arsenal, obviously 5, Wolves 0. It's finished Brentford 1, Man City 0, but I'm sure Man City aren't particularly bothered. Chelsea 1, Newcastle 1, that one finished. Crystal Palace 1, Nottingham Forest 1, that's finished. The other full-time scores, Man United 2, Fulham 1. So Man United have finished 3rd, Newcastle 4th. Steve says there, it's a shame Arsenal should have won the title, bring on 23-24. Yeah, we should have won the title. I think we know that. Right, actually, let's just see if I can find the Everton game. Let's just watch the final few minutes of that. Seeing as that is still going on, there's going to be more stoppage time to play there. Let's just see if I can find a stream of that one just to finish us off, because it's been an exciting day. It's finished Southampton 4, Liverpool 4. Great game there down on the south coast. So we'll see what happens. When they're still playing on at Everton. Leicester have won 2-1. There's still 3 minutes of stoppage time to play at Goodison Park. Everton are 1-0 up. Jota says, as disappointed as I am with the end of the season, still feel it has been an excellent season. Regardless, come you go as it's over for next season. I wouldn't say excellent season. I'd say it's been a good season, definitely, and it's been an improvement on last season. An excellent season is winning a trophy. It's been a good season, and we need to build on that now next season, don't we? And get a trophy on the board as well, because we're Arsenal, and that's what we should be aiming for, So let's see. Regeneration says their same thoughts on Steve. Yeah, we should have won the title. It is a shame, and we need to learn and improve and get the players in that we need. This Everton game is still going on. 3 minutes still to play. It's still 1-0. Sean Dyche has done the job, hasn't he? It looks like kept Everton in the Premier League. Tottenham have just scored a 4th goal at Leeds. It is Lucas Moya. I think that's his last game for them as well, isn't it? So he's finished with a goal as well on his last appearance for Tottenham. In fact, that's finished now 4-1. So Leeds are down. And this is the last game to finish. And it's the one with all the drama and all the everything riding on it, isn't it? Everton are still 1-0 up against Bournemouth well into stoppage time. You can see the tension on the faces of the Everton fans. Have Bournemouth got anything left in them to find a goal and send Everton down? I'm not sure if they have really. Mark C says 2 minutes left at Goodison. Yeah, there is 2 minutes left of stoppage time at Goodison, and Everton are still leading. And you do feel as though they're nearly there. The fans are going crazy, as you can imagine. Terry says, poor old Leeds. Yeah, poor old dirty Leeds. I kind of wanted them to stay up, but I can understand that it was never going to probably happen from today. A win would probably not even have been enough, would it? Because the other 2 both won. Jota says, I can understand that. Richie says, great to have found this channel this year, and thanks for your awesome commentary throughout for everyone else. So, no, thank you very much, mate. It's been good to have you on board with us. I've enjoyed your comments throughout the season. I look forward to, speaking again very soon. But no, I mean, I don't. It's been a good season. Of course, it has. We've improved. You can see we've played some great stuff, but ultimately we've fallen short of what we needed, and that's disappointing because winning the league is difficult to do. You don't get many opportunities in life to do it. And is this our best one? Maybe not. maybe we'll have other opportunities in the next few seasons. Maybe we will. We don't know, do we? But at this moment in time, I feel as though this is a great opportunity we had. We were in the lead. We were clear. But not to worry. I'm sure everyone will reflect over the summer. We'll be back, of course, on Wednesday evening to look back on the season with some guests on as well. Go through everything. Give out some end of season awards. It's going to be exciting, isn't it? So join us for that, and I'm sure we'll all enjoy the good times of the season as well. So it's just obviously disappointing that we didn't do it. But anyway, we'll be back next season, I'm sure. And I think everybody will. The feed I've got's frozen the Everton game, but it is still going on by the look of it. It is still 1-0 to Everton. The look as though they're just trying to keep the ball in the corner flag anyway. Can Bournemouth spoil the party at the death? That would be one of the most dramatic finishes. They were talking about. In fact, no, the full-time whistle's gone. The full-time whistle's gone at Everton. Everton have won 1-0. They have stayed up. Leicester have just heard the news at the King Power. Leicester have been relegated. Wow. Mark C says, Maddison will be on the move now. Yeah, potentially he will. I've got a feeling he might end up at Newcastle personally. Mark C says Leicester down. Yeah, Leicester are down. And Everton fans are on the pitch celebrating the fact that they've stayed up. It was Abdullah Decore's goal early in the second half that won it for Everton. And they have stayed up on the last day again. How many times has that happened for Everton? I mean, if you're an Everton fan, you must be absolutely the tension is incredible, isn't it? But Everton have finished on 36 points. That was enough to keep them up this year. Leicester 34 have gone down, and Leeds on 31 have gone down as well with Southampton. I mean, Leicester champions in 2016, and they have now been relegated out of the Premier League. Just incredible stuff, really. Leicester fans are in tears. The Everton fans have got tears of joy, and they're on the pitch celebrating. It's totally contrasting scenes at the King Power in Leicester. Steve says lost by 6 points to title. Well, there's no way Man City lose to Brentford if they needed to win. So they'd have got another 3 points. That's 9. They wouldn't have got a draw with Brighton. So you're looking at 11, really. But it doesn't matter, does it? I don't care if it's 1 point or if it's 10 points. We still didn't win it, did we? Redona says Everton have won. Yeah, they have. Yeah, scenes there. Leicester fans in tears. I mean, it's a shame, actually. I do quite like Leicester, I must admit. But Everton are such a historic club, aren't they? And they've been in the top flight for such a long time. It would have been a shame for them to have gone down. But they have survived. And it is Leicester. Despite Leicester did what they had to do today. They won their game against West Ham 2-1, but it wasn't enough. They lost out by 2 points. They needed to have beaten Newcastle the other night. That would have kept them up, wouldn't it? John says, yeah, kind of annoying with the relegations, honestly. We do well v Leicester away and tend to win at Leeds. Everton away on the other end. Yeah, that's true. Everton away is a bad ground for us. Yeah, we've done well at Leeds. Leicester, we've had mixed results at Leicester, haven't we, over the years? But look at the teams coming up. We've got a pretty good record against some of them, haven't we? Obviously, Luton, we haven't played for a while. Anyway, Redenda says, we are cheering, but should be in tears as injuries set us back. Yeah, it's not just injuries, though, is it? I mean, we have had a few injuries. Yes, everybody has injuries, don't they? We should have been able to see that through in the position that we're in, but never mind. Terry says, wouldn't mind getting Harvey Barnes on the cheap. Yeah, I think there'll be a few decent Leicester players. I do like Harvey Barnes. He's a very good player, yeah. There'll be one or two that'll be leaving, definitely, won't there? Kevin Campbell's on the pitch at Goodison. There you go. Former Arsenal player, of course, an Everton player, looking happy with life. And why not? The Everton fans are letting off some fireworks and stuff on the pitch. They are enjoying their survival. And Sean Dyche has done it, hasn't he? Sean Dyche, the expert at avoiding relegation, has managed to do it again. He didn't quite manage it with Burnley last season, did he? But he's managed it with Everton this time. Regenda says, we don't have a big squad. Well, we have a big squad. We just don't have the quality, do we? We've got the same amount of players as everybody else. You're only allowed to register 25 in the Premier League, aren't you? So we've got the same number of players. We just don't have enough quality backups because you look at some of the players who've been out on loan. You know what I mean? Look at some of the players who've been out on loan as well. that, Nicolas Pepe, for example, surely there must have been room for him in the squad. When you challenge for a league title, he can get goals and whatnot. So I don't know. There's a lot of things that we've not done particularly well, and I think that's an issue. We need to do better going forward, don't we? We need a better squad with better depth in better quality in depth, absolutely. And yeah, we need to find a mentality that we can deal with the pressure a lot better than we've managed to in the last few years. And that's something that we've got to work on as a group. And I'm sure they will be. I'm sure we'll be looking at that. I'm sure we will. But yeah, let's see what happens. It's a big summer coming up for Arsenal, isn't it? And it's a big season next season as well. And let's see where we are. Whichever says, yeah, we need a better depth in both men and women's teams. Yeah, we do. We need more depth, absolutely. We want quality in depth, yeah, and get rid of some deadwood in the squad that are not playing. Mark C says, Norton Cuffy, who was out on loan at Coventry, might get promoted into the first team squad this summer. He might do, yeah. He looks a good player, doesn't he? I think he needs a little bit. He needs some little bit of work on him. He's a little bit greedy sometimes, isn't he? He doesn't always make the right final decisions, but he's a young player. He's got a lot of quality. And yeah, he may well make the first team squad next year. We've seen there's been a lot of youngsters on the bench this season, hasn't there? And I'm sure we'll see a few more next year. Steve says we do. Yeah, we need more quality and depth. There's no doubt about that. And we'll see what the summer brings us. I can see a lot of players leaving already. We know Granit Xhaka's going. Kieran Tierney will probably be leaving as well. Rob Holding, will he be staying around? We'll have to wait and see. Smith Rowe, another one. There's going to be a lot of movement, I'm sure, in the summer. Every game today had goals, the final game of the season. So they all finished. It's Arsenal 5, Wolves, as we know. Villa 2, Brighton 1, Brentford 1, Man City 0, Chelsea 1, Newcastle 1, Palace 1, Nottingham Forest 1, Everton 1, Bournemouth 0 that we've just seen. Leeds 1, Tottenham 4, Leicester 2, West Ham 1, not enough for them. Man United 2, Fulham 1, and Southampton 4, Liverpool 4. So goals everywhere. A lot of good games there, I'm sure. So match of the day tonight could be quite good, couldn't it? We'll see. Mark C said, did El Neni sign on for another year? I'm not sure. Did he sign on for another year? I know he was saying he was back fit again. I mean, if he has, that's ridiculous, isn't it? Because he's never going to play, is he? Let's be honest. He's never going to play, and we don't want him to play. No disrespect to him, but if he plays, it means we've got injuries, and he's not good enough, is he, for what we need? So let's see. Rogendo says, yeah, to build him up to challenge for the first team. Yeah, no, I'm sure we'll see a few of the youngsters come through next season. Colonel says, Everton stay up, lost league by 5 points, 2 Southampton games and West Ham inevitably cost us. Yeah, we're losing twice to Man City. There's 6 points there, isn't there? Do you know what I mean? If we'd drawn both of them games, that's 4 points less for them, 2 points more for us. And that's nearly enough, isn't it? Steve says, yeah, you're right, Colonel. Yeah, indeed. Rajendra says, Manquios scored for the under-20s and 1 assist. Yeah, we might see a bit more of him next season as well. We'll have to wait and see. So just to confirm, then, Southampton, Leeds and Leicester have gone down. Everton survive by the skin of their teeth. Dramatic last day, wasn't it? So that's that. Kevin's in the chat. Kevin, good to see you, my friend. He says, thank you, Richard, for a great season. Listening to your commentary, it's helped me so much in my recovery from neck and throat cancer. Says, no, I'm glad you're on the recovery, mate. That's the most important thing. And if you feel that I've helped and we've helped on the channel, then that's great as well. But good to see, good to hear that you're on the recovery, mate. That's what we want. Wish you all the best, and look forward to seeing you back on the channel next season again. And if you're around during the week, we're doing our end of season reviews as well, so that'd be good if you could join us for that. Tottenham finished 8th, by the way, everybody. Despite their win today, Tottenham have finished 8th. They're not in Europe next season. They've had a season that we had, didn't they? We finished 8th a couple of times. And that's where Tottenham finished this year. And Mark C says, did you say Monday Club is on for the season review? It's on Wednesday, actually, Mark. It's on Wednesday evening, 8 o'clock, the season review. So join us for that, because that'll be good. We're going to give out some awards as well for the season, some fun awards. It's going to be good. Colonel says, well done on channel growth for a year, though, Rich. Hopefully we can get to 2K before the end of the year, or even 3K. Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to get to 2K. I mean, funny enough, the first game of the season against Crystal Palace, first watch along I did, during that game, the channel hit 1,000 subscribers, and we're on not far off 2,000 now at the end of the season. So yeah, it's been a good season. We've grown a lot, and that's all down to you guys for tuning in and helping and giving us likes and whatever. Terry says, great news, Kevin. Get well ASAP. Exactly, yeah. Great news to hear. Josh says, for El Neni, Charles Watts reckons the extra year for him was a bit like Cazorla, where he can get fit without worry. Classy touch from the club if true. Yeah, it's still money we're paying out on wages for a player that's never going to play. We're not a charity case, are we? You know, it's a nice touch, but it's not free, is it? You know, we're having to pay him a contract for a year when he's never going to play. I'm sure he could get a contract somewhere else where he might get to play. Do you see what I mean? I don't know. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not, really. But I mean, it is nice of the club to do that. But yeah, I don't know if it's the right thing overall. Regenda says, striker in France, what do you think? I reckon he needs to get stronger. Balogun, yeah. No, Balogun, look, I mean, what a season he's had. Incredible number of goals he scored in France. Does that mean he can come into the Premier League and score loads of goals? I don't know. It's worth a try, isn't it? Who knows? We certainly need a striker. Is he better than Eddie Nketiah? We don't know. We've not seen him really enough of him yet, have we? But he's had a good season. He's going to benefit a lot from that, isn't he? From the season that he's just had. And yeah, let's hope that he can come back bigger and stronger and ready to offer us something in the Premier League in the future. Let's hope so. Regenda says, hit that like button. Yes, please, guys, hit the like button before you go. Steve says, great to chat with everyone all season. Men and women, take care to all. Rich Terry, see you all soon. Yeah, see you later, mate. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us all through the season. It's been great to have you on board with us all the way from Australia. Fantastic. You must be the furthest one away from us that watches the show, actually. Well, we've got fans, or we're fans. We've got viewers, sorry. I mean, they are probably fans as well. We've got viewers all over the world, but you're probably the furthest away, which is great. Mark C says, all the best, Rich. Try and tune in on Wednesday. Come on, you guys. Yeah, cheers, mate. Again, thanks for all your support this season as well. It's been great to have you on board with us. Terry says, Steve, great to have met you, mate. Take care. See you all soon. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, now I say there's been this season, obviously a lot of you guys in the chat, you've mentioned it already, have joined us this season. And that's been great. I'm glad that you found us. I'm glad that you enjoy what we do and that you keep coming back. And it's great to see you all in the chat every game. Next season, we'll still be here. We'll still be doing some stuff. We might be doing things slightly differently next season. We'll have a few different things that we're going to try as well. I just feel that every year you need to try and freshen up the channel a little bit, don't you? And that's what we're going to try and do next season. So we'll have a few different things thrown in for you as well. And we'll still do the watch-alongs. Of course we will, because that's what we like doing and you guys like them as well. And, a few other bits and bobs as well. So, yeah, keep your notifications on and see exactly what we'll be doing. But, yeah, we're back Wednesday for the season review show. Melvin will be with us. Tom's going to be with us. Potentially one or two others may be joining us as well. If anybody wants to come on the show, let me know. I can drop the link in and you can join us actually on the show as well if you want to get involved on our season review show on Wednesday. Give us your thoughts on the season and maybe vote in our awards as well. We're doing some end of season awards, so that's going to be good, isn't it? Regenda says, great to chat to all. I know we get upset when we lose, but I still support the team through thick and thin. Hopefully we win things next. No, exactly, mate. Yeah, we all support regardless of whether we win or lose. Winning's a bonus, isn't it? Let's be honest. I think sometimes we've been frustrated this season in the manner that we've lost some of the games that we've lost. But yeah, we're all a little bit. We get all a little bit obviously frustrated, don't we, when we lose? But ultimately, we'll always follow the club. We'll always support the team, won't we, regardless? And Thomas, as well as he says, Tottenham will finish above Arsenal next season. Well, there you go. See, that is a very, very bold prediction. I do kind of like the confidence there. But maybe we should save this comment. Should we save this comment and put it back up on the final day of next season? And let's see if Thomas is right or not, shall we? I mean, that's a big ask, isn't it? When you're, 20, how many points behind were they? 20-odd points behind to make that up. There's a joke. Oh, you've changed your mind over. Yeah, fair enough. Steve says, yes, we're changing next season, indeed. Regina says, yeah, come on the Arsenal. Great show, Rich. Best comments. No, thank you very much, mate. Always good to have you on board with us. I know we don't always agree on everything, and that's fine. And it's great that you're here. And that's what, we like to, anybody's opinions are welcome here. and that's fine. We don't have to always agree on everything. Doesn't matter. We'll talk about it, and then we'll make up afterwards. And Regina says, at least Thomas on there. I was like, no, Thomas is only joking. He doesn't think Tottenham will finish above Arsenal next season. But they've just had a season that we've had, haven't we, quite recently, finishing 8th. So we know what that's like. And it isn't much fun, let's be honest. So, yeah, but we don't feel sorry for you. Thomas says, yeah, Tottenham are awful. They're going to finish 8th again next season. Well, they may well do. I don't know. We finished 8th 2 seasons in a row. So we know what that's like as well. But I think there's going to be a few changes at Tottenham, a new manager, and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. Will Harry Kane still be there? That's the question, isn't it? He's just got 30 league goals for the season, which is a great effort from him. Of course, he's not going to win the Golden Boot, is he? Because a certain Manchester City Viking has got that sewn up a long time ago, broke the record, of course. And there's still 2 more games for Man City as well, isn't there? The FA Cup final and then the Champions League final as well. So that is all going to be good, isn't it? But anyway, that's all for another time. Terry says, great show again, Richard. And it's nice to have met so many nice people in the chat, apart from the rough ones like Steve, Bongo Goon and Mark C, and anyone else I missed out. Yeah, no, it's been great. Actually, Bongo Goon wasn't in today, was he? I don't think. He didn't put any comments in anyway. He may have been watching. But I'm sure he'll be back again soon anyway for next season. I mean, we will be. I say we got the 2 review shows. Which I'm not concerned about Spurs. I'm more concerned about Man City United. Yeah, Newcastle, I'm concerned about them. Liverpool as well are going to come back stronger. I'm not sure about Chelsea, but Pochettino, their new manager, he could do a good job for them, couldn't he? But we'll see. Let's just worry about ourselves this summer. Let's have a good summer in the transfer window, and let's make sure that we get the bodies in that we need, give ourselves the best chance possible to challenge for all the trophies next season. Let's hope this time next year we're celebrating at least one trophy that we've won, whatever one it might be. We'll see. Thomas says there, maybe they need to lose Kane and Son. Look at you, like you had Aubameyang and Ozil getting paid silly wages, chuck them and rebuild a young team. Yeah, I mean, that's true. It's a big chunk off the wage bill. The thing is, I think with Tottenham, we did it in a slightly different way, didn't we, I suppose? We've never really replaced Aubameyang's goals, actually, even now, have we? And I think if Tottenham lose Kane and Son, all them goals, they're going to have to replace them some way, aren't they? Otherwise, they are going to struggle. It's going to be interesting to see. Thomas says, Arsenal ain't got to worry, you're golden. Well, we'll see. I mean, I'm worried in the fact that everybody else around us is strong and they're going to be spending money, buying players. We're going to as well. But it's hard, isn't it? The top 4 these days, it's harder than it used to be, you know, when there was only really 4 teams every year. Now there's 6, 7, 8 teams that are challenging for that top 4. So 4 big teams miss out every year. And we've got to make sure it's not us. And that's not easy to do. It's not easy to do. And we need to, now we're in the Champions League, we need to keep getting in there every year, because that's how the club's going to grow. Just doing it once and then not getting in the Champions League again, that's not going to be what we need. We need to be in it regular, don't we? Year after year again. And we've got to do that. And the signs are looking good. But next season is going to be another challenge. It really is. Thomas says, I support Man United. Oh, fantastic. Okay. Hopefully we'll get bought by some Arabs and we can buy Saka off you for 100 million. Well, if you're going to offer 100 million, I don't know, maybe 150 million, maybe we might think about it. But I mean, Man United are on the up, aren't they? You know, I think Ten Hag's done well back in the Champions League where you needed to be, top 4. Finished 3rd, actually. So, you know, you've had a decent season, won a trophy, another potential trophy next week as well if you beat Man City. So, yeah, I mean, Man United looking good as well, aren't they? And so there's a lot of good teams now around and about that top 4, top 6, top 8 in the league. It's hard, isn't it? But James says, let's score a lot of goals and get other teams fear playing us, like the Invincibles. Campbell always says, yeah, I mean, let's see what happens. James says, Saka for £1 billion. I don't know about £1 billion. I don't think 100 million would buy him. He's just signed that new contract, so that's going to make it more difficult. Jota says, let's be honest, if Grealish costs 100 million, it would take a lot more to buy Saka. Yeah, that's what I said, maybe 150. We might talk, we might entertain a discussion at that point, but nothing less than that, I wouldn't have thought. But we'll see. Terry says, Thomas, you are more than us this season. Yeah, I would say, man, you've had a better season than us because they've got the 2 cup finals. They've won one, finished 3rd. and they could win 2 cups. So yeah, they have had a better season than us. But there you go. Thomas says Saka is my favourite English player. He's a genuinely nice, focused kid. Absolutely, couldn't agree with you more. Only question is, how much better can he actually get? Where's the ceiling on him? Well, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, it's difficult to say, isn't it? I mean, he's 21. He's progressed year on year since he got into the team when he was, 18? Is he going to get, is this his level now, or is he going to get even better? I think he's got more levels to come. I do, personally. He's so young still, isn't he? And the fact that he is so level-headed, like you said, he's always looking to learn. He wants to learn and improve. And yeah, I can see him improving and even more. I really can. I can see him being one of the top players in European football. He can't say that yet because he's not played Champions League yet, has he? And he needs to perform in the Champions League as well on a consistent basis. And that's the next step, isn't it, for him? He's doing it for Arsenal week in, week out. He's doing it for England now. He's a regular in the England team. He's one of the first names on the team sheet for England. He's had a great Euros tournament. He's had a great World Cup tournament. So he's done it at international level on a consistent basis. He's done it at club level domestically on a regular basis. He now needs to do it in the Champions League. And if he starts doing that on a regular, consistent basis, the sky's the limit, isn't it? Let's be honest. He's scoring goals 2 seasons in a row. He's hit double figures now, and he's still only 21. He's got a lot more to come, I think. And he could end up being, I say, one of the top players in Europe within a couple of years. If he can perform at the Champions League level consistently, then that's what's going to happen, because there's nothing to stop him, is there? He's not like there's an attitude issue, or there's a lifestyle issue, or there's all these other things that sometimes affect young players. He's not got none of that. Everything's in the right place for him, and I'm sure he's going to go on and become even better. It's difficult to see how he can become better because he's so good now, but he's just doing it at that level, isn't it? Say Champions League now. He's done it everywhere else. Do it in there, and then that's where he'll be. But Joe says Saka and Martinelli only worth talking about if someone offers $1 billion each. And no, I don't know about $1 billion. I'm not quite sure he's that much. Seri says my only fear with Saka is overplaying him, and we end up with another Jack. Well, he's a tough cookie, though, isn't he? He's been playing on injury for the last few weeks. Yes, he had a good game today, I thought. Took his goal well and ended up having to go off. But yeah, we've got to manage him a little bit more. But if he's fit enough to play, he plays. That seems to be the way it is, and that's how he develops and grows. Thomas says he's not Dele Alli. He's certainly not Dele Alli. No, definitely not. But no, I think Saka's there's no limit. There's no ceiling, I don't think, to him at the minute. He can just keep going and keep going, and I'm sure he will. He's looking to improve all the time, and yeah, he's making steady progress each season, isn't he? Getting more and more consistent, scoring more goals, creating more assists, and becoming more and more important to the team every season. And I say now he's a regular for England as well. So no, it's great that he's come. He is, we call him Star Boy, and he is, isn't he? Because we've had a lot of good players come through our academy system over the years, and he's up there, isn't he, with the best ever. When you look at the players that's come through, he's going to be up there, isn't he? Definitely. And yeah, I don't think there's a limit to him. But let's just enjoy him at the minute while he's playing for Arsenal. We signed that new contract. And let's just enjoy him, enjoy the fact that he's playing so well, and I think that's the most important thing of him, isn't it, at the minute? And not place too much more pressure on him. He seems to handle it pretty well generally. So we'll have to see. Thomas says here, where do you think Arsenal need to improve or need cover? Any specific names that you think Arsenal should go for in the summer? Well, I mean, now, if Granit Xhaka's leaving, so we need to replace that experience in midfield. So that's a big area. I think right back's been a bit of a problem area for us this season. Ben White's done well there. It's not his natural position. We haven't really had any cover there. Tomiyasu's been injured. Is he going to be fit next season? I'd like to maybe see a right back come in. I think we need a centre forward as well as a better option. I think Jesus and Nketiah quite similarly way that they play. We need a plan B striker. I don't think Arteta will buy one, but personally I would like to see a plan B striker come in. And I think maybe defensively as well, centre backs, Saliba was injured, we missed him a lot, and maybe we need to look at a player to cover there as well. So we need a few, don't we? And also as well, we need to pad out the bench with a bit more quality than we've had. You've got a feeling Tierney's going to go. We've got a feeling Smith Rowe's going to go. We need to get some players in quality-wise to keep the bench strong so that we can rotate the team. And it doesn't. The drop-off with our rotation's been quite marked this season. You looked at the Europa League, the cup competitions. We haven't been able to make 4 or 5 changes to the team very often because the level drops. And we've got to put that right in the summer. And that's addressing the squad, isn't it, in general? And let's hope that we can. And then we'll see. But we're not going to buy everybody we need. But they're the sort of main areas for me. I think right back, centre back, maybe a left back if Kieran Tierney goes. I think we need a left back cover. Someone to replace Xhaka with that experience in midfield, and a striker is definitely what we need. But let's see who's still here. Let's see who stays. Because if more players leave, then we're going to have to replace them as well, aren't we? Potentially, but we'll have to see. Virginia says, Xhaka for Gomez. Which Gomez do you mean? The one who plays for Wolves today? Or another Gomez? Is there another Gomez? I'm not sure. Terry says, I did hear the Cronkies have inquired about bringing in Pele and Maradona. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Pele and Maradona would be good signings, although I think a bit late for Pele now. And Maradona, actually. But anyway, Virginia says that they were thinking of big, tall striker like the ones the one who went to Juve. Yeah, I think that's what we need, but I don't think Arteta does because he doesn't want to play that way, does he? But let's see. Let's see what happens in the summer. It's going to be full of rumours and it's going to be full of speculation as always. But let's see who we actually get. Let's see who leaves. Let's see who comes in, and we go again next season. And it should be good. Someone says, who should James Ward-Prowse join? Well, he's a good player, isn't he, James Ward-Prowse? I don't think he's quite ready for one of the top teams yet. I think maybe, someone like Brighton would probably be a good place for him. That they're going to have to strengthen a bit in there in Europe. Someone like that. You could see him playing for Tottenham, actually, couldn't you? You could see him playing for Tottenham potentially. But Aston Villa, maybe somewhere like that. That's the sort of clubs I would think he will end up going to. I don't think he's going to go to anybody like Newcastle or Arsenal or Man United, anybody like that. Liverpool, he won't go. I don't think he will. It's going to be more the next tier down for him at the moment, I think. And if he has a good season at Liverpool, say he went to somewhere like Villa, had a good season there, then you could see him going to the next level. But I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. There'll be a lot of Leicester as well. I've got a few players that's going to move on. In the summer, you'd imagine, Harvey Barnes, we mentioned, I'd like to sign him. He's a player I wouldn't mind signing. Regina says he should learn from Man City. They got one big tall striker. They did, Thomas says he's 28. He's too good for Tottenham. Yeah, but he's a sort of player that Tottenham end up buying, isn't he? He's that sort of player, isn't he? And whether or not that'd be a good move for him, maybe not. It's never a good move, is it? Moving to Tottenham, let's be honest. Mate, I don't know. I've got a feeling Aston Villa. I don't know. I've just got a feeling. I seem to remember when Unai Emery was manager of Arsenal, there were rumours about James Ward-Prowse. I don't know whether that was because he was interested or whether the club were at the time. So we'll see. Maybe Aston Villa could be the place he might end up going to, James Ward-Prowse. Because they're in Europe as well now, aren't they, in the Conference League next season? So they need to strengthen as well. So, but there'll be a couple of Southampton players. There'll be a couple of Leicester players going, 1 or 2 Leeds players maybe. That could do a job in the Premier League elsewhere. We'll see. Terry says, I think we should bring in Ivan Toney on the cheap now. See, I've always said that Ivan Toney is a great player, but with this other issue, of course, hanging over him, the ban and whatnot, it'll be a risk for anyone to buy him, wouldn't it? I'm not sure we're a club, or Arteta certainly is the manager to take risks, is he? So I'll be amazed if that happens. But I would buy him. I think he's a great player. And he's proven that he can score, 20 goals he got in the Premier League this season. That's a great effort, isn't it? So, he's one I would like to see, but it won't happen. There's no way Arsenal are buying Ivan Toney. Absolutely no chance. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. So that is that for today. That's us done for the season for Watchalongs. Not quite done for the season in terms of shows. There's more to come. Terry says, I think we should. Oh, we said that one. Sorry, yeah. Vijay says we need at least 20 first-team starter players to move forward. Well, what we need is, I don't know about 20. I'm not sure too many teams have got 20 first team players, apart from Man City, I suppose, but they've got the money to do it. You just need to have, let's face it, nobody. No team's going to get 10 injuries at the same time. You just need, if you've got 2 or 3 players out, you just need 2 or 3 players that can come in and the level's not going to drop too much. That's what you need. And we haven't really had that, have we, unfortunately? And that's what we need to address. I think we need to buy 5 or 6 players in the summer, at least, with the players that we're losing. But we'll see what happens. Thomas says, is Walcott done now in the Premier League? I don't know. I thought he actually, when under the new manager, when the new manager came in, he started playing more regularly. I thought he actually did all right, And again, he's a player who could probably do a job at one of the lesser teams, And Everton, for example, I know it didn't work out from Everton before, but a club like that, Nottingham Forest, a sort of a club like that, I think he could do a job still in the Premier League. Will he stay in the Premier League? Will he go abroad? I'm not sure. Will he? I would have thought he'd go down to the Championship, or he would stay at Southampton, wouldn't he? So I think he'll either go abroad or he will join another Premier League team. And I'm sure there'll be 1 or 2 takers as well. I'm sure there will. The General says that leave 5 players from the academy. Yeah, we need a few academy players in the squad as well, and I'm sure we'll get them. But yeah, it's a big summer. We know that, isn't it? Oh, we were just talking about Bongo Goon. He was a good win. Yeah, we were just saying about you before, mate. We hadn't seen you in the chat today. We wasn't sure if you was watching or if you was around. But it's good to see. Good to see you are here with us, which is great. I hope you enjoyed the game. Well, it was a good win, comfortable win. No pressure, kind of what we expected from Arsenal these days. And yeah, we just need to make sure that we get what we need in the summer. Bongo Goon says, no, we don't need to apologise, mate. You can't always be around for the shows all the time. It's good to see you now. Good to see you that you popped in. But yeah, so that is it for the watch-alongs for the season anyway. Redendra says, see you next game. Well, yeah, see you later, my friend. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Take it easy, and we'll see you very, very soon. So yes, that's it for the watch-alongs for the season. It's been a long season. We've had a lot of watch-alongs. Thanks for all you guys for joining us over the season. I've really appreciated it, enjoyed it. We'll be back on Wednesday season review, looking back on the last 10 months of watching Arsenal, the highs and the lows, give out some awards. Friday, we have got the women's review of the season as well, with the guys looking back on the women's season. Again, highs and lows there as well, and a trophy, a few awards there to give out. So we've got a couple of big shows coming up, and that's going to be good. So join us for that if you can, and then there'll be 1 or 2 bits and pieces. I might have a week off or so just to recover and to recuperate, and then we'll be back with a few more ideas through the summer, some different stuff for next season as well. Terry says, congrats, Richard, for a top end of season show. Another great season from you. You even got me watching England again. Well, we tried our best. There's a couple of good games, wasn't there? Looking forward to Wednesday. Take care. Going to start my birthday. Of course, yeah. Just in case you wasn't aware, everybody on the channel, Terry is his birthday tomorrow. It's Terry's birthday tomorrow. So wish Terry a happy birthday. And we'll see him on Wednesday, of course, in the chat as always. So yes, Terry's birthday. Happy birthday to Terry. Probably, I'd say he's probably our biggest fan. Bongo Gunner says, join the WhatsApp. Is there a WhatsApp? Is there? You'll have to. I didn't know there was a WhatsApp, but yeah, we'll have to get going on that then. That'd be good. Terry says, come on, you Gooners and Gooner girls, indeed. And Bongo Gunner says, happy birthday, Terry, for tomorrow. Yeah, it's happy birthday to Terry. And Arsenal got the win. Jota as well says, happy birthday to Terry as well. Yeah, get all your happy birthday wishes in for Terry, because it's Bongo says, the link is in the chat. Is it in the chat? Is it? I must have missed it. Did you put it in there, did you? I must have missed it. I'll try and find it. Links in the chat. Okay. Well, I'll see if I'll find it in the chat. Let me have a look then. It might be on my phone. Is it on here? Is it? I don't know. I can't see it actually. But anyway, I'm sure we'll have to get it sorted anyway. Yeah, get the WhatsApp going. But no, so thanks to everyone for watching this season of Watchalongs. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I say there's been some great comments throughout the season, really. So it's great that you're all enjoying what we're doing. And yeah, I say we've gone. It's incredible that I say it was. I don't think the link's showing up actually. I can't. It's not showing up as a link. So I can't see it as a link anyway. we'll see what we can do. Get that sorted out. Terry says, thanks, chat. Was only talking about Bongo going to yeah, we were. Yeah, I just said we were just saying where's Bongo Guna gone today, but he's here. It's good to see. But yeah, it's not showing up as a link, is it? I don't know. I can see the words coming. Not unless I might have to go onto YouTube after. Yeah, because I'm obviously only on my phone. I can look at it on my phone or on me streaming that, but I can't see it actually on YouTube at the moment. I'll go into it after. Hopefully, we can get that sorted. So yes, that's it for the watch-alongs. And I say it's been great. I say the first watch-along of the season against Crystal Palace, we hit 1,000 subscribers. The last one today, we've hit 1,730 something or other. So it's been a great season of growth. We hopefully will hit 2,000 by the end of the year, or maybe sooner. Who knows? And that's all thanks to you guys. So thank you for the support and for joining in with the chat. I will see you Wednesday. It finished at the Emirates today. Last game of the season. Arsenal 5, Wolves 0. 2 goals for Granit Xhaka on his final appearance. Saka, Jesus, and Jacob Kiwior got our final goal of the season. Who would have thought that was going to happen? Martinelli scored the first goal, and Jacob Kiwior scored the last goal. And all those 103 goals in between as well. Bongo says, Rich, what will you do in the off season? Well, so we've got our season review shows Wednesday and Friday. I'm not totally sure what we'll do in the summer. We'll do something. We'll have some shows going, I'm sure. We'll look at other stuff going on. We'll do some transfer stuff probably. We'll have some bits and pieces going on, some stuff on the history of the club. Loads of bits and bobs we'll have. But I will probably take a week off as well and go from there really and just recuperate. I've got a few ideas I'm looking at and we'll go from there. Terry says, big thanks to Bum as well. Yeah, she'll be back on some watch-alongs, I'm sure. The World Cup, of course, in the summer, the Women's World Cup, we'll be doing a lot of coverage of that as well. So we'll be doing that. So join us for that as well. Women's World Cup in July and August. The Lionesses going for the double. The Euros last year, the World Cup this year. A lot of injuries, but I still think we've got a chance. Let's see. So let's see how that works out. Borgo says, okay, hope I will be able to join. Yeah, let's hope so, mate. I'm sure you'll be able to join some of the stuff that we do. We look forward to seeing it. But yeah, so thanks today for everyone for watching. We will see you very soon. It's been a good season overall. Disappointing finish, but a good result today, a good performance today. 5-0 to the Arsenal. We enjoyed that one. We'll see you on Wednesday for the season review. Take it easy, guys. Thanks for watching. Come on, you gunners. Come on. Thanks for watching, guys. We will see you very soon.
Real Martinelli. It's now with Granit Xhaka. Is it going to be the third goal? It is the third goal. Granit Xhaka with it. That seems